Hi, I'm Jamie. Welcome to Sci-Fivision for August 5th. Karen will be with us momentarily. Tonight we have Revival and Resident Alien, and I'm thinking the Sandman episode 9 and 10, and Star Trek Strange New World. And then please stick around at 1 a.m. Scarlett and I will be doing the deep dive into the Sandman episodes. And then at 3 a.m. tonight, we decided that we are going to have a watch party for Wednesday premiere. So everybody's all caught up. Yeah, I know. I don't get sleep. Is caught up before our show on Thursday. And Karen has just joined us. There we go. Well, kind of joined us. Joined us off camera anyway.
Hey, how are you guys? I'll be with you in a sec.
Hey. It's all good. But if you haven't, please join our Discord, which I just put in the chat. It has a link to our schedule and all that good stuff, our watch parties, all that. So make sure you join it. And then on YouTube, of course, like the video, subscribe to Sci-Fivision. And also we have from the Institute, we have Jason Diaz, who plays Tony, will be joining us live on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you join that Friday. Yeah, that'll be a special time. So and you
That's so exciting.
Yes, very. And you can also send questions for Simone Miller, who plays Kalisha, to either Discord or Sci-Fivision Twitter.
What's the deadline? When are you talking to her?
It's going to be at least a week away, so they got a bit of time with that. But that's, don't have an exact date yet, but it's going to be at least a week away. But Jason is on Friday, and that's live. So, yay!
Cool.
Oh, sorry, my allergies are so bad. Like my eyes are constantly burning. Not good.
So, how you guys doing since last night? Good.
It's been so long, hasn't it?
No, I get to talk to you guys all the time. Yeah. All right. So we have a bunch of stuff on the docket tonight. Yes. So what have you guys been starting with? I wasn't here last week. It's nice to be back. With
I put up Resident Alien. That's just kind of the one I put up.
All right.
The picture's already up, so let's go with that.
Sure. It was a great episode. So
yeah, quite a lot happened. I was trying to remember where it dropped off though the end of last week, because didn't they have the whole thing with Liv and Mike finding out was the previous week, right?
It ended last week when they went into the mine and they weren't sure who was the Mantid, but at the last minute Max ran up and he said, "Oh, the Mantid's Deputy Liv."
Okay, that's what I thought. So we already knew that at that point. That's what I was trying to remember. I just was a little confused of the episode.
Yeah, that was the end of last week's episode.
Now we got this flashback about the the 59 miners or whatever, 59 to save one or whatever the thing is they always say. I don't know that was really necessary, but I guess it's something we got.
I mean, because they were gonna. I guess they did it. Go ahead, JJ. Please talk.
I was just gonna say it was. I mean, it didn't take much of the episode, and I feel like it was worth it because we later discover his body. They finally, after all these years, they finally find his body.
Right. No, I don't know. It seemed like such a, I don't know, tiny part of the mythology of the show that I hadn't really thought about it until they did it. And
well, it's why Darcy's bar is called the 59, right? I mean, it's I think Jamie, that we didn't need to be reminded because we talk about the show every single week for half an hour, right? But I think there are maybe audience who needed a reminder of why there are dead guys in the mine. Although, I mean, you're right. Even without that mythology of the show, there could be like, holy crap, a dead miner would be like fine also, right?
Yeah. I guess my point is what I was meaning is like, I really didn't need to know that, okay, they really did die to save a miner. Like, they're like, oh, the story's true. Like that to me wasn't something.
I don't think really that was the point of it, but.
Well, I don't know. I thought that was the point because they make a point of saying that, like, oh, that what they thought was true was actually true because they see him locked, like, away in the not locked in, but like blocked off, separate from the other ones, so they knew that he got stuck in there. But I don't know. I just thought it was like a diversion we didn't necessarily need. It wasn't bad or anything. It just I don't know that it was necessary.
I mean, it also maybe served to remind us that this mine has a history of caving in.
True.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
So,
all right, got my glasses. I'm ready. I know AJ doesn't like me to wear my glasses because they make weird reflections, right?
No, that was just the one night. Like, you've worn them before. It was just, I thought it was funny.
I'm getting old and I can't see this 13-inch laptop screen. I can't. You guys are like little pinheads. So anyway,
I'd be blind without my contacts, so I can't say anything.
Anyway, yeah, this little intro, Jamie, was not necessary to our. You could have tuned in 5 minutes late, not seen this, and had the same enjoyment of the show.
Yeah. So the majority of the episode is kind of them searching for the mantid, or I should say the majority of the beginning of the episode is them searching for the mantid and trying to find out who it is, because, like you said, they don't know yet that it's Liv, and it ends up that Max is the one that helps him figure it out because they can't see. I mean, he knows it's not Liv and shoots at her, but after, whenever it ends up being Asta, looking like Asta, that's how they figure it out. But yeah, Max is the one that, whether his parents want him to or not, helps, because he's like, no, that's the mantid. So it kind of speeds that part up.
And so the mantid doesn't have to go from body to body the way like some shows we've seen. Like, as long as the mantid has you in her nest, web, whatever, she can change. Like, she can change back and forth from people she's inhabited, right? Because she changes to Asta and she goes back to Liv again later in the episode.
Yeah, but she never captured Asta, so I guess they don't have.
She's bitter. You're right. They don't have to be captured. They just have to be, I don't know, bitten something. I don't know. You're right. That's inconsistent. Because
that might be why she was bit. I hadn't even thought about that. I thought she was bit after, but maybe I'm wrong. I would have to go back.
Previously, I thought the mantid had to kill you to take over your appearance, but that is
you were supposed to think that. I think.
I mean, it's kind of a moot point by the end of the episode, right?
Yeah, definitely. But I like the fight that they have here, but also we have. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm trying to go through the pictures where. Okay, that's when he shoots Liv. But no, when they come back and Kate shocks I thought I had a picture of it when she shocks the spider. Maybe I didn't.
Spider, that was great.
That must be later, I guess.
Spider, yeah.
We have this huge fight scene after. This is where Asta's looking. We get this huge fight scene between the mantid and and Harry. I tried to get pictures of it. It's kind of blurry, but there's a lot of that scene.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting that they kind of went full animation for this scene, right? Like, I know the show doesn't have the effects budget of like something on Apple or Netflix, but it was very. I'm like, oh, they went like total animation with this, right? There's no like.
I don't know that it's animation. I think they're in. Well, some of it is, but some of it's them in suits, probably. I'm guessing, but I guess they have to be.
Most of it looked pretty like, they're jumping off the walls, they're strangling each other.
That part's definitely digital. Clearly,
I mean, it looks pretty like whatever that is, computer animation, whatever it is, right? I mean, that might. I'm not an effects person. Sometimes that might be cheaper than. Having guys in suits and having to touch that up later, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It didn't really bother me, so.
No, it didn't bother me. Look, it was way better than the level of Sci-Fi Channel special effects like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, true. There's the picture of her zapping him in the head. That's not the spider, but she's still zapping something. That's a great picture. Kate, I think, really enjoyed that.
So what do you guys think about Kate in this episode? Kate's sort of evolution towards knowing about what she's been through with the aliens, and then like coming to this moment and fighting an alien. Very, she does thoroughly enjoy it. Like by the end of it, she's saying to Ben, like, I want to live my life this way. I
like that she's finally come full circle a little bit because she's not terrified like she was. So I kind of like that. And I like that they realize that they kind of have to let Max help out because they need him. I mean, they couldn't do it without him because they do need him because he can see the man-id. But I like that they're kind of letting them. Maybe not realistic that they're letting their kid help, but I still liked it.
I'd like to hear, AJ, what do you think? Because I know who your least favorite character on the show is.
You know what? I hardly noticed Ben the whole episode. No, I liked. I love this episode. I mean, there was so much going on. It was so much fun. The animation I thought was great. I thought the whole thing was just fun. I love the battle between the Mantid and Harry in alien form. That was really great.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was great. I thought it looked, it was extended a little bit. I mean, it didn't go on forever, but it wasn't just like quickly over, right? And it was, this is the major antagonist of the season, so it deserved to have a little time on the screen, right? I think the Mantid is a pretty cool look. I kind of like the alien head even better than the Harry head. Like that, the Mantid is a pretty cool looking alien. So I loved all this part too, and it's about time. It's interesting that this storyline has dragged a little bit. Like, look, nobody catches on that Harry's an alien for 4 years. We've all sort of talked about that needing to eventually come out. Which by the end of this episode, is there anybody who doesn't know? I mean, pretty much everybody.
The main characters now.
Every main character knows by the end of this episode, right?
Except for Judy.
Oh, except for Judy.
Judy doesn't. Yeah, and Asta's daughter, I don't think does either, does she, Kayla?
Oh, Jay. Yeah, I guess she's not major. Neither is like a major.
Kayla, why am I calling her Kayla? Jay. Who's Kayla?
I don't know why. Is that her real name?
Her name is.
I know you don't do that.
Somebody's name is
Jay. Judy, I wouldn't be surprised if in the final episode, Judy knew all along.
Yeah.
Never said anything.
If they
do that, that'd be funny.
That would be funny if they tell her and she's like, "Yeah, duh."
Duh.
Did you just find out?
Duh.
So obvious.
He walks.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah.
So that leads us to worrying that Liv is dead. I mean, I think we thought, you didn't really think she was dead, I guess. But at the end of it is.
I would have rioted.
Really don't know, but I like that. I think it's great that Liv all along has been the one that has wanted so bad to see an alien. It's I don't think she wants. Well, she even says at the end, she's like, nope, no more. She's done with aliens for a while. So I like that they did that.
She's like, it tried to kill me. Nope, I'm done. Yeah, and Liv for so long was the true believer that nobody would believe, and she's finally vindicated. Although it's so not Liv's way to be like, I told you so. And this is such a crew of clueless people that she's surrounded with that they kind of don't even get it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. She's finally, you're right. She's finally vindicated, but now she's over it. So she's had enough. And whoops, we also get, I guess that's later. I have that. She's there with,
who's she?
Go back, but Liv is there with I don't remember his name.
Richard. Isn't his name Richard?
Something. Peter's kid. I just didn't remember his name is. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So he's there with her, and there's this big gross egg thing, hive. I don't know what
egg sack. It's the egg sack. There's a million eggs in there.
Yeah. And it's gonna hatch, and Harry says how long they have. I totally misunderstood how long he said, because I thought he said X amount of weeks, and apparently he said hours, because I'm like, why are they working now? I missed something in the text there. But yeah, it's
he did say weeks, and then they were like, oh, maybe we don't, because it had been happening longer than he thought it had.
Okay, then I didn't miss
because
I was gonna say, I was all, why all of a sudden are they rushing like it's gonna hatch?
Yeah, because Jules was the incubator for lack of.
Oh, that's right, because he was wrong with who was
Jules all that time that they didn't know what the man. They thought remember Harry thought he killed the Mantid.
Yeah, and then whenever Lena said, she had a hole in her stomach or whatever, he's like, oh no, it was implanted in her. Yeah, right. but at least then they didn't, hurt Liv.
How many of you guys in the chat? I know AJ, you were maybe thinking, Jamie, you probably were not, of the episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer where the hot school teacher is secretly a praying mantis who is trying to like.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
That when she like Xander thinks he's hot for teacher and he thinks she likes she's like a praying mantis demon who wants to bite off his head and have eggs lay eggs together.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Creep.
And that's a very practical effect. That show's from like 1997, right? And like that's like a person in like a paper mache mantis head.
Yeah. Well, I think at some points this is like a rubber mask too, but other times,
at some places
the body isn't, because the body's like, shaped like a praying mantis. But at times, yeah. So Kate and Asta come back, and this is where Asta finds out that she was bit or whatever. See, I didn't realize. I thought she was bit after she had copied her, but maybe I'm misremembering that part, and I don't know that it matters. But that makes sense if that's why she.
It happens off screen, right? Like Asta off screen, like suddenly two Astas are on screen. Like Asta is confronted, and whatever happens off screen. But there was
I just didn't connect the bite with that's why she was able to, and that makes more sense. But I guess I missed that. Yeah. I just assumed she was bit and didn't really think much more about it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody thought Asta was gonna die. If anybody was gonna die, it wasn't gonna be Asta. But
well, yeah,
I think they did a good job of making it emotional, regardless of that. I think they did a good job. And so then we have, we have this conversation with Lena, who found Jules. And it is now like, oh my God, there's aliens, basically. You were right. I should listen to you. I love that where she's like, we have to kill all the aliens. And it's like, he's kind of standing there like, what? Why do you want to kill everybody?
To be fair, she didn't.
Yeah, Harry's an alien too. So that was cute.
What, AJ? What were you going to say, AJ?
I said, to be fair, she didn't know that Harry was an alien. How was she supposed to guess that?
No, I know. This was funny because she's like, oh, okay. Like she didn't expect that. Although wasn't very shocked over it. So I guess she probably didn't take too long to figure it out.
Yeah.
So let's see. They send for Liv's husband and they end up in the storage unit. And they're all kind of running around, splitting up, trying to find them. And I remember thinking, why aren't they all yelling like really loud? They finally did a little bit, but I remember thinking like, you should all be yelling for them, and try to find them because you're going to run out of time. But I mean, it worked out. But we have, let's see. While this is going on, obviously, Asta's still sick, but then Harry sees Asta's ghost spirit, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. How did you feel about that? Like I said, I think that they did a good job of making it emotional, but I don't know that I necessarily needed to see Ghost Asta leading him how to get there.
I mean, I have feelings, but AJ, what did you think?
I want to hear Karen's feelings. I didn't mind it. I feel like it was fitting. Based on their Asta's family's religious beliefs. So I thought it was kind of made sense that she was able to kind of
astrally project.
Ghostly project as she was leaving her body.
Yeah. I didn't love it. So there's a point where Harry says, it's Asta. She's connected to the jingle dance, or he says something about the jingle dance or the jingle, right? And they're linking it back to that previous episode, which, is one of maybe the greatest scenes ever in the show to me, when he's at I want to call it a powwow. That might be the wrong term. Do they call it a powwow in the episode? But he's at the event where they're doing. You remember that episode? I love that. I love that scene and that sequence, and they're connecting it back to that, and I guess to Harry's growth and understanding. But
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get connected to everything, but I didn't need to see a ghost. I think it's kind of probably how you feel.
I think I agree with Jamie that to me it might have been more powerful for him to maybe only hear her or to even just say I can feel her or something like that, right? And to not like literally see her maybe to me would have been more powerful, but I'm just one person in the audience. It wasn't a terrible disaster of a scene. I just I wasn't sure how I felt about it only because like that is a scene that I just loved so much this season that I was like, ooh, I get it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
No, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like I get she's connected to everything. I like that part of it and that they brought it in, but I don't know that I needed to see her.
That looks exactly like my storage place. I guess they all look the same, probably, right?
I think they all look
storage
the same.
place.
My storage unit, yeah.
I think they all look the same. But Harry did obviously listen to her, which was good.
Yeah.
And then we have Darcy's conversation with Asta where she can hear her the whole time. I like that. I mean, I think I wasn't super surprised that she heard everything she said, but I did like it. And it's kind of showing more of Darcy's growth, who I think has grown a lot this season, especially.
Especially over the last couple episodes.
Yeah, she's kind of realizing what she's been doing to everybody. And
it seems like the money, like she's had her like It's a Wonderful Life moment where she lost the money, and it like that apparently Darcy's rock bottom. I mean, she's only maybe not. She's not sober even 30 days yet, but she's really trying. I thought it was a nice scene. I thought, as this episode went on, and particularly this back half of the episode where all the stuff is happening, it really did feel like a show that's meeting its end, coming up to its end.
Yeah.
And for a second, I was like, "Is this the finale?" I know there's one more episode, but
there's one more. Yeah, I felt like that too. I was like, "Did I make a mistake?" Yeah.
But you know what? Most shows, you have this type of wrap up, and then the finale is a complete wrap up as everybody says goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of don't know though. I don't know. It seems strange to me that they're starting a whole new story for one episode. Like, I almost
that probably wasn't the plan.
Oh, because you think they started the new story but then continued it.
I think they. I feel like they may have shot a little. I mean, we'll have to wait until we see it to see exactly how it goes. But speaking of that, who do you think they are? Who do you think they're here? I think it's Harry's people.
So, you know what? I have some feelings about that, but let's move along to that. Jamie, do you have a few more?
I guess AJ didn't see the preview, I'm guessing.
Never watched the preview.
Yeah, well, I usually don't either.
I'm over the previews.
So yeah, they get to them in time. All the little baby mantids are running around, and I love that Peter's the one that comes in, pew, gets them all and blow torches them or whatever, and I forget exactly what he does, but gets all the baby mantids. And
it was a blowtorch.
Yeah, this is a blowtorch. Oh, I know, they had a behind the scenes thing.
I saw it.
Yeah, they were showing how the blowtorch wasn't actually like fire, like all the fire was digital.
They said they decided to do digital instead of practical for safety. And I was a little surprised because it's a very little bit of fire in just like a flamethrower type situation, right? Yeah, and I was surprised that they didn't. But look, I don't safety, of course, is paramount. And
well, I would have never known it if they hadn't told me. So they did it okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was there until I said it. But yeah, they get rid of all the little mantid aliens. I like that they got their reunion. I mean, I think we knew that was going to happen if they were wrapping up the show. I'm not surprised, but I like that they got their reunion. Although I'm kind of surprised by I forget exactly what it was, but Peter telling him that they won't that he'll stay and help the government because he agreed to or whatever. That was a little weird, but
he said he would help them if they let him go so he could find his son or something like that, right? Or
if they find his son, he's like to help them his word or whatever.
And then Richard's like, just turn off your switch and they won't be able to follow you. And Richard's like, Peter's like, that's not honest. No, he speaks to him like a child, really, and says like, that's not, the right thing to do. To go back on your word.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think though them hunting him as a cyber, keeping him as like this robot that they made him into and all the hell he went through though, I'm kind of like, really? you owe them nothing. But no, I get it. But I don't know, it was just a little weird to me. But then we go back to Asta and he gives her part of his blood. Now, I really thought that I don't know what I thought would happen, but I thought like she was going to change or I don't know, have some powers or something because he's giving her.
I'm not sure she doesn't. I believe when she opens her eyes and says they're here, it's because when she said to Harry, "I'm so hungry. Oh, I'm so hungry," and he says, "That's the effect."
Oh yeah, I felt that way too.
And says, the hungriness was, but that was more.
No. She's transformed, and then she's gonna have part of your pie. And he says no, and they talk. So when she opens, that's what I was waiting for you to get to. When she opens her eyes and says they're here, I'm like, oh. She knows it because she's part alien now. I think she's maybe hybridized or something like that. Not a hybrid, but has like some powers.
She's got a little bit of ESP.
Off on she didn't want all the stuff he dumped on it. It was made more into a joke. I kind of forgot about it, to be honest, at that point. And,
no, that was great when she's like, "Can I have some of your pie?" And he's like, "No."
When she asked for the pie, I was like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "I'm so hungry." She's definitely got something.
But then she didn't want all the guck he dumped on it. So then we have this conversation, and this is about how Asta's connected to everything, and he says that she has to choose to come back, that kind of thing.
I thought this was a really great piece of writing.
It was.
And the gentleman who plays Asta's father, I don't know that actor's name off the top of my head.
Barry Farmer, I think.
What?
Barry Farmer, I think.
Barry Farmer. I thought he did a great job, and I thought it was really well written, and it really the last thing he says in that monologue, he says, it's up to the person whose life is teetering on the edge to decide whether to stay or go. And it really, I don't know. You guys know that I lost my mom only a couple of years ago. And it made me think of when my mom was in the hospital for a few days and we didn't really know what was going to happen. And it made me think about when you've been, and other people that I've been with in the hospital like that. And I kind of really agree with what he said. And I thought it was one of the better written and more in a show that sometimes has very broad 12-year-old humor. It can also do moments like that.
Yeah. I like how they had this conversation. I like how Harry kind of accepted it and also how it made Harry okay with her leaving at the end. I think that this season he grown so much compared to all the other seasons that he still stayed he's at a 12-year-old boy. He finally gets it a bit more, and I like that.
Okay, I'm gonna hold my thought until we get to that part of the episode, which is probably in 2 more photos.
No, I have a couple more. There's a conversation between Kate and Ben, which is that them talking about Max helping? I forget.
Yeah. How they need to understand Max's unique ability and not punish him and help him express it instead. Right?
Yeah. Still needs to be careful though.
And I think Kate also says here, I felt so alive and taking chances, and I want to live my life like that from now on. And Ben is like, okay, you're going to have to help me.
Yeah, and then what the heck did she say? She said something sarcastic, something like there's no chance, there's no hope for you or something like that.
I still don't understand these two as a couple. But
hey,
there's 100 people in the town, and apparently you can only marry people from your high school, so.
Yeah. Because the point is she wants to live without
fear. But they didn't go to high school together, though. That was always part of the thing. Asta and Darcy and him and Liv, they all went to school together. She's actually an outsider.
Yeah, that's right.
He met her at college or whatever, I think. Yeah.
I don't know, but she's not from Patience,
Yeah. So then we have Asta waking up and the whole joke with
Harry walking funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's awake and she feels more connected to everything. And then this is where Liv's like, oh no, I'm over it. And the whole conversation Peter has with his kid, we already talked about that. And Lena, I forget what Lena I forget what part she played in that other than
Yeah, no, she's such a minor character. Like, I don't even really notice sometimes what she says and does. She's just the sheriff's love interest, and I mean,
she kind of lost some. She lost some of her pizzazz. I mean, she was actually involved in stuff, and like this season, she's just been kind of backburner.
Total backseat, yeah, this season.
Yeah. Oh, I changed it back because you had the quote up and you took it down.
Oh yeah.
That's good. Liv is done. Yeah. I like that though. I like that after she's been the one that's been pushing it, she's just like, no, it's over.
Well, she's the only one who almost died. She's not the only one who almost died. She was in a very, it did try to kill her.
That's fair.
She'll come around. It's the initial shock. She'll come around. And she's got a podcast about aliens and crackers.
Yeah.
But she's kind of the one that's known all along, that had figured it out a long time ago. So I love that.
Yeah.
And there's, like you said, the pie scene and her wanting the pie and him with moving. And then that's when she says, they're here.
Well, she says she's realized she has to. She doesn't actually say I have to leave patients, but that she doesn't say the words I am leaving patients. But that's definitely what she's saying in this conversation. She's like, I have to experience more. I have to
okay with it.
Well, and so this is what I was like. The part where Asta's father says it's up to the person to decide whether to stay or go, and
it's kind of the same thing.
You suggested that helps Harry to accept that Asta's leaving, but I don't know. I mean, I think maybe it helps Harry decide that he should leave. And I don't know if Harry would. So I don't know if Harry would accept Asta leaving if he didn't also plan to leave. He's decided he has to go and be with Heather. If he was going to stay, I don't think he would be so understanding about Asta's plan. He says I got to go be with Heather. He's already made that decision before they sat down here. And so I don't
even thought about that, but you might be right. Yeah.
I kind of felt like Asta's father's monologue helped Harry decide that he had to leave. And he's going to say goodbye to, I think maybe he's letting Asta understanding what Asta wants because he's already made his own decision.
Yeah. That makes sense. I hadn't thought about that, but
I mean, he's grown so much that he's not a big, giant, selfish baby still. Right.
Yeah, but he's still leaving, which I think is a big thing, and choosing.
Yeah, it is. I just don't.
I mean, not that that's not really a selfish choice, but it's not really a selfless choice either.
Yeah, I just don't think that he's so totally asked to go ahead. I think it's partly in the fact that he doesn't tend to be there anyway.
Yeah, that's true. But there is some kind of alien threat that is showing up in patients after this, so he's not leaving yet.
So Jamie, I didn't see a promo, or I didn't pay attention to the promo for next week. So if there's one big threat in there here, what do you think it is? AJ, you said you think it's Harry's people finally coming to yeah.
Well, I saw that immediately after this, so I really didn't get a chance to think about who it was because I saw the answer, so I can't really.
No, I don't really know. I guess I was clicking to the next thing I was watching. I saw that after the after show special effects thing, but I didn't really see who it was. But I assume, like AJ, that it's probably Harry's people who have been sort of the existential threat to Earth in the background ever since he arrived, right?
Yeah, I think the Greys kind of, for leaving him alone. So
yeah, and also the fact of her blood transfusion made me think that she's able to maybe sense his people coming.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I was thinking that.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's maybe it's temporary, maybe it's not. I mean, there's not that much to wrap up besides this, right? Almost everything is resolved. Is there anything that's not resolved besides
what not really.
I think that's why it's kind of like a whole new story, and that's why I said I'm surprised they didn't. I almost wonder if it would have been better if they sort of wrapped them together.
We'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, but I guess it really depends what they had originally intended to.
Well, see, I always felt this whole season kind of felt like that it could have been a season finale or a series finale.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I I thought this as a penultimate episode was really very good. I think they're doing a good job of tying it all up. I really liked this episode. A ton happened. It wrapped almost every storyline, but it didn't feel like, you know, sometimes you watch a season finale and we're like, or series finale, like, well, that sucked. They just wrapped everything up with a pretty bow in 1 hour. It doesn't make any sense. This really like made sense and really worked for me.
Yeah, so I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know that we need it. Like, I mean, I want another episode because I like the show, but I feel like it was a good ending. I don't know that I needed beyond.
This could have been the ending. You could even end with Asa saying they're coming, and if that was the end,
I meant before she said they're coming.
I could be okay with that as the final scene of the show, and we just don't know what happens. And I'm okay with not having an answer to everything at the end of a show sometimes, right? And leaving off.
I would have preferred them if they were going to do that, just to cut the last 30 seconds off of the show. I mean, if they were going to wrap it up as a series finale, they could have. I like a series finale that leaves some questions in my head for me to imagine what could come next. And not everybody does. But it looks like there's going to be one last thing. I do think they're done a good job. I don't want another season. I think if everybody knows, then what is the show? If everybody knows that Harry's an alien and they're all in on it, like, you lose like a lot of the joke, a lot of the mystery. Like, they're wrapping it up, and it's going to be done. And there's not. I mean, they do all know in the comic, but I feel like it plays differently on the series, on a TV show. And I agree. I think you need that element, and without it, it's kind of like you're not waiting for that to happen. So I would agree with that. Like, since they did tell everybody, I think that it feels like it's over. But
and it's not.
I don't know if the comic book's good with them all knowing. Maybe they could keep going. I don't know.
I mean, it's only been 4 years. It's not like a thing like Buffy ran 6 seasons, and I'm thinking of Buffy because in terms of how people were let in on it one by one, and eventually by the end of the show, like, pretty much everybody in Buffy's life knows, and like half the town knows, right? And
it's hard for the town not to know when there's a giant hellmouth in the middle of it.
I mean, they live on the helm. Everybody knows they live on the hellmouth. But for this show, I think with everybody knowing, like, that's sort of like the end of it, right? It takes away a lot of these characters are.
It does make me think, though, that they've known for a while then that it was done, because they only recently announced it, but it does feel like they had to have known if they were wrapping the season the way they did.
Well, even if you don't know, I mean, I think if I was working on a project and my big boss had to make, like every show knows now that every season could be their last, right? And I think, like, even if you didn't know you're officially canceled, sometimes, you know, at work, like, you're not getting the money. There's this new kid on the block revival, and they got money also. I'm not saying it's one or the other.
No, it's just you don't want to write yourself into a corner like they done on Surreal Estate when they fired all the characters in the
and then they had another season,
not the actors, and then they had to find a way to, like, be like, oh, come back, like, so if they told everybody, then what? They'd have to figure out what to do. So I assume that they were probably fairly certain that it wasn't coming back. But.
Well, as AJ said, we'll see how it wraps up next week, but it feels like a good conclusion is coming.
Yeah. I think whatever it is, it should. Yeah.
I mean, it does make sense now that I think about it, that, like, Harry can't just leave the planet. Harry was sent there to kill everyone, and his people still have the same reasons for wanting to destroy Earth, right? Or destroy humans. And so
there has to be some
resolve. You know what's ironic about that?
Yeah, what?
The Greys don't want them to blow up Earth because they were taking the souls.
Yeah.
So how did that even work in the first place?
But it's not the Greys. It's Harry's people. Like,
I don't know. That's my point. Like, if Harry's people, like, how are Harry's people with their whole galactic alignment?
Well, they were
conclave shit.
I mean, I think of that.
The Greys, so I don't think it mattered because they didn't.
Look, the United Nations is pretty ineffectual in like making countries do or not do things they don't disagree on, right? Like, Putin wants Ukraine, Trump's like, don't take Ukraine, and the UN is like, whatever, they're useless, right? I mean, that's maybe what I think the Galactic Housing Authority is like. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's kind of funny how, you know, I think it's ironic that Harry's people want to blow up the Earth, and the Greys are like, no, that's our resource. But, you know, the Housing Council, they only, you know, they kind of sided with the Greys, so it was just I think funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. There has to be a reason why they're going to leave him alone. Like if you're really going to wrap it up, then figure out why they're going to stop.
No, we'll find out
Why
next week.
on to another planet. Yeah. No, I agree. We will.
So,
Yep. All right.
all right. Revival or Sandman?
Let's do Revival, I
Let's
guess.
do Revival because it's one episode, and then we'll do the 2 episodes of Sandman. How's that?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Maybe Jamie, do you do these photos like one long film strip, or do you have separate folders for each?
They're separate folders. That's why I'm switching it. I gotta open it up.
All this, you guys, is a mystery to me how this appears on the screen. And Jamie sometimes says some technical things, and I'm like, is that French? Because I don't understand it.
No, it's I don't know why it keeps doing that. It doesn't want to open the right one. Open my picture. There we go. Yeah, I have to open them, and then it's kind of like a screen share. It's not, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
And none of them are the same. So I'm always like trying to make it fit when I get.
That's perfect. That's just about perfect.
Yeah. It's too hard to have like 5 different windows open.
Look, 6 months ago, I was loading all the photos and clicking them all. And so I'm happy to have the change in responsibility, at least for a while.
Yeah, although I forgot to turn the film strip on, so it's going to change in a market fix
All right.
because I'm dumb.
All right, so let's go first to AJ. How do you like this episode in 20 words or less?
That's a lot more words that I plan on using.
Right. I was going to say 10, but I can't.
I mean, I love the episode. I mean, I really enjoyed the flashback. There was only one part of the episode that kind of pissed me off, but I'll talk about that when we get to it.
Oh, that's why I didn't want to do it.
I enjoyed this episode also, and some parts of it are moving beyond. I have not read the entire comic. I just read like the first kind of part of the comic series. And so like the Black Deer investigation, like a lot of that I didn't read that far. So I like that we're getting to parts that I don't really know. Some of the stuff the way they're doing it, some stuff I still know, right? But I like that it's getting past where I have read and what I know. And I like this episode. There were a bunch of things I really liked about it. An episode that maybe on paper I would have been like, why do we have to watch this? I thought it was great. And the characters, I'm really, even some of these characters that appear for maybe only this episode, I thought were great.
Yeah, I see what you're saying about on paper. Like I kind of, if I had known ahead of time, like the whole thing was a flashback, I feel like I would have been like, I don't know that I really wanted to see that, but I enjoyed it. And I like that we finally know what this whole Black Deer thing is about that they've been talking about all season that never made any sense. Like it finally makes sense, yeah. So
and like how is a 2-year-old murder related, and why do we have to like keep like fighting, like she and her dad are fighting about it all the time, and what is it? And now we can really see that there's maybe a connection there. I mean, not maybe, there's a connection there.
Yeah.
So
although I think this episode highlights her father being an ass even more, the way he treats her and like thinks she can't make her own decisions and like just you're wrong, do what I say. Yeah, that just made me more mad at him in this episode.
So why do you guys think, like, we know the creators have said they purposely made him more disagreeable than he is in the comic book and harder on her. And like, I don't really get why they did. I'm not sure that what's that guy's name that was on with us? The creator of the show was on with us. His name, come on, I can't remember his name.
Luke. I said Luke like 3 times.
Luke, sorry.
Luke. Okay.
Luke something. Luke Boyce. Luke Boyce was on. And he said they purposely made Data's father to be harder on her, like made their relationship, frayed their relationship more, made him just his character more extra. And I'm not really sure why they chose to do that and what we are getting out of it.
Yeah, I don't think he said
somebody
why.
to hate.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
There are people to hate. There are people to hate on the show, right? Like Deputy Brent and the Czech brothers and
Those people are all dead.
And Blaine. I mean, there are people to hate. He, in a show that we hope is going to be about like the family pulling together to save Emmett to solve this, right? And like,
Well, I would say
they're not like best friends. It's like she and her dad are best friends in the comic book, but they have taken him up a notch, right?
Yeah, but I feel like at the same time, by them doing that, it gives him room to grow. And I feel like a lot of this season is, I don't want to say yet is starting to be about him realizing how wrong he was. So I think like it kind of goes hand in hand. Like he'll realize it isn't just him being an ass about the revivers. Like he's been like this from the beginning to his kids since his wife, well, maybe before his wife died. We don't know, but at least
For me,
and it gives him a place to go, I guess.
For me, it doesn't matter how he could totally change his mind about everything in the next episode. It doesn't matter. He's
Like,
already done what he's done. It's not, you know.
It makes
like,
me wonder why Dana works for him and the police.
Yeah, I thought the same thing after that.
She should have left a long time ago. But
she doesn't appear to particularly love being a police officer. Not that she's maybe not good at it. She doesn't really love it. Her father's a jerk. Her coworkers are all jerks. Like,
I mean, she doesn't love it there because she wanted to move over to the other town and be a police officer.
She did. She did. And then,
about it. So
and
I
then
don't
Revival
know.
Day. She got Revival Day. Revival Day blocked her from leaving the town, and so she couldn't accept a new job.
Yeah. So I think it's more she doesn't like working.
I agree. It's becoming difficult for me to understand why she works there, why she like puts herself in a position to be with her father all day long, every day, and tolerates him. Like, this is a guy that really, and it's really on display in this episode because this Blackdeer thing, which is 2 years ago, 2 years before Revival Day, the stress of, like, you could maybe attribute his behavior in the last few episodes as to the stress of Revival Day and his personal opinion. And wait, let me finish, Jamie. And his personal opinion about how revivers should be treated. He definitely seems to agree that they should be rounded up and kept track of and whatever, right? And you know, there's an element of the show that's about like political and religious opinions, whatever. But he was like this 2 years ago. Like, he was a total jerk 2 years ago. So we can't blame Revival Day for Sheriff Cypress being a jerk.
Well, people have also used the excuse of his wife dying. You know, oh well, he lost his wife, and maybe now he's angry because of that. She was still alive 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, Em even has a conversation with her mom. She's like, you know, I want to go away to school, but I also don't want Dad showing up in case something goes wrong and like embarrassing me and like dragging me out of there.
Yeah. Which maybe you could attribute that to being an overprotective parent on the M side, but he's not like that with Dana.
But no. Then we see him with Dana.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I think that because he's going to have to come to terms with like what he's done to these revivers, probably, because whatever happens to M after this, like, I mean, it's kind of his fault. So I'm hoping that gives him, you know, a relationship that they're going to try to patch, you know, next season or whatever.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
So anyway, sorry, we went way on it. I've spoken more than 2,000 words probably. So moving along.
Yeah. So we finally meet Rose Blackdeer, who is trying to get out of the town, and her father does not want her to leave. Okay, we also have the scene we just talked about with Em and her mother. But yeah, Rose is kind of in the same boat. She's like, I'm leaving. I don't want to stay here. And he does not want her to leave. A big part of it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want her to leave because he doesn't want her to leave too. I don't know. But the big, you know, issue in the episode is the idea that her land that her mother left her in the will revert back to the government, which I don't know how their laws work, so I'm not sure. But yeah, her land will go back to the government if she leaves that town. Like, he can't take it. Although I don't understand, like, and I guess, like I said, that has to do with I don't understand their laws, but I would think like she could, you know, gift it to him if she owns it now. But I guess that's not the way the Native American, their culture. I don't know how it works with the connected to the government.
I don't know the case, but did you guys see Killers of the Flower Moon? Killers of the Flower Moon.
Never got around to seeing that.
Incredible. It's such a good movie. It's based on an incredible book, which I've not read, but it is about Jamie in, I think, the early part of the 20th century, maybe. The government did make a rule that, like, so all these Native Americans had all these shares of the land, right? And when oil was discovered in, I think, Oklahoma, they changed the law so that if an Indian woman married a white man, so they made all the Indians, like all the Native Americans, they called them Indians then, they made it like they were not competent to manage the land, and they put all these laws on them and everything. And so they made it like if you married someone who was white, the husband would, and then you died, the husband would get the whole point of the movie is all these white men marrying Native American women on purpose and then poisoning them and murdering them so the land would transfer to them. And so where I'm going with this was there was also other kinds of government laws that were all set up to steal the land away from the Native Americans. And so I don't know about Wausau, Wisconsin, but it is totally like a real thing that the government set up these kind of provisions that if a Native American moves off the property, government gets it, because they were trying to snatch all the land away.
Yeah, so technically she really doesn't own it because she can't transfer it to him, I guess.
Right? Like you should be able to own it.
Renting. That sucks. Like,
yeah. So I don't know if they're like, I'm not Native, and maybe somebody in the chat knows more, but those were real laws that have been set up to snatch the land away from the Native sovereign nations.
And maybe if she had been a male too, like maybe it would have been different. Yeah. I don't know. Yes. Probably would not have been the same role. But the idea is if she moves away, they lose the land. And because I don't know if he just doesn't want to lose land or if it's more because it was his wife's land. I don't know. But he doesn't want her to leave is kind of that's the main gist of why, or at least the reason that is important in the episode. Like I said, he may not want her to leave too because he loves her and don't want her to leave. But that's not what the episode is about. Because she just wants to leave to get away with her girlfriend, who we find out is May, and who is the reporter, and that they are going to move away to Chicago, I think. Yeah. And that's her plan. So since he doesn't want her to leave, she is going to run away. And she goes to, let's see, too many pictures here. I went ahead and took them all, so they're there from Friday. So she takes her money, and she sneaks out to the bus stop, and she waits. Now, she is supposed to be, like I said, traveling to Chicago. Now, this is where some of it got a little confusing to me, and I feel like I need to watch it a second time. Because clearly, whatever's going on, Aaron is in on it. Somehow, I was confused how Aaron...
You see that later. You don't see that.
Connected. I was like, what? I need to rewatch it tonight because they sent the other ones. I'm like, I gotta rewatch it.
I mean, you see that later. You don't right now in this scene.
You don't know that.
You don't know who she gets in the car with, right?
Right.
Well, she didn't exactly get in the car.
Yeah.
Right. You don't know who she talked. You don't know who offers her a ride in this scene.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where kids don't get, or women, I should say, don't get in cars with people you don't know.
She did know him, though.
I was going to say she did know him. She did know him. That's a good point.
Aren't 80% of people killed by people they know?
That's true too.
Yeah. Like people who get killed are killed by people they know mostly, right?
Yeah.
And most women and other kinds of crimes also.
Yeah.
Is that the same bus stop that earlier in the season where M was sleeping when Dana picked her up? It is.
Probably. And that would make sense too. If they were kind of...
It also reminds me of the bus stop in Dark. It's Dark, right? Where there's a bus stop where they hang out at.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the Dark bus stop also. I guess a lot of bus stops look the same, especially at night.
Bus stop.
Yeah, it's like the storage units.
Yeah.
They all look the same. So then we have Dana, and this is like a forward. This isn't as far back, right? Because this is after she's already been killed. And
she's been missing. She's
missing.
Rose has been missing. You're right.
It's been like a week.
72 hours.
Or no, I think he says it's been 78 hours.
72 hours, yeah. And he is pushing the case, trying to push it forward because she's missing. And this is where I would think a lot of people would think, well, he was trying to get us to investigate. If he was the murderer, why would he try to get us to investigate it, right? Like,
Throw you
that's
off
what
the
if I
scent.
was Dana, I would have been like, dude, why would he do that?
You see many killers on television crying like, oh, please find my wife, help me find my wife. Meanwhile, you killed her and shoved her somewhere, right? I didn't necessarily think he'd done that. And this actually made me think about like the huge problem in this country and really in North America about like the disappearance of Indigenous women that is not usually taken seriously or followed up, right? Like,
yeah, that's true too. So he
again, nothing against Wisconsin, but there are parts of the country where Native American women like go missing and are not found and not really investigated at an alarming rate. And there've been like a whole bunch of TV shows about it.
Yeah. So yeah,
but Dana's really sincere. Like, you know, Dana is sincerely trying to find Rose.
Yeah.
Yes. And she doesn't think that she says at one point, like, she doesn't think that he did it because she can tell that he loves his daughter and he is really trying to find her. Not that that's necessarily always the case, and she could be wrong, but we're assuming because of the show, you know, that she was.
You know what I thought was really weird? I felt like there was some kind of backstory that we weren't aware of. Because when he comes in the station, he's like, you know, I want to, you know, I need to speak to, I forgot their last name for a second there.
Cypress.
Yeah, I need to speak to Officer Cypress. And he's like, never mind, I see her. And he starts to walk over to her, and everybody's like, whoa. Like, they're all, like, blocking it. Like, is he, like...
Do you do that at a police station? Yeah, like, you don't do that.
Well, like, do they think he's violent? Or, like, is there something we're missing here that, like, everybody jumped up and was like, whoa.
I don't know if that's a...
I think it might just be more like you can't just walk into a police station and do that. Just
really?
You know
have you not been watching the same show as me?
Okay,
Lester just walks into
the sheriff
Wayne's office all the time.
I wonder, also, is it a little bit of treating Dana like she can't take care of herself? Like a lot of this episode is about Dana, like, having good police instincts. Like, she knows he's not the murderer partly because of her instincts, and how her father, like, just runs roughshod over her instincts and has no respect for her as a police officer. I mean, Brent runs over her also, but it turns out Brent's the, you know.
Yeah, well, there's a reason Brent's doing it.
Right, Brent's a perpetrator, but Brent's in on it. But, like, I wonder if part of that was, like, not treating Dana like with the authority that she has to just say, back off, let's go talk.
Yeah, that could be the case. Yeah, so they're like, you can't go in and do that. Or who knows, maybe even Wayne said, don't let him come in or whatever, because he doesn't want him talking to her or whatever. But either way, she believes him, therefore we believe him. And then we have the thing with Brent saying about the argument and the whole land thing, which we already knew about, but he's telling her.
Yeah.
And then she finds at the bus stop, I don't remember what she finds. Her shirt? I can't remember.
No, it's I don't know what it is. It's a little scrap.
Oh, her necklace. Wait, maybe she found the necklace? No.
No, because the necklace, Bear has the necklace.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But yeah, she finds something that makes her think that she's been murdered. It's not just a missing persons case. So they go over to see him, and they're like, we gotta, you know, she's like, I'm sorry, we gotta check it out. And they find the money and how she had intended to leave. And then also, or not the money, they find the letters. Sorry, she had the money in the tackle box before. And these letters are from
Bear.
I think it just says Bear, yeah. But the letters are from Blaine. Now, the thing is obviously at this point in the present, May has already investigated a lot of this, because like she had, like, on her murder board or whatever, she had Bear Claw, like we had talked about that. So she already was trying to figure out who it was, I guess. So yeah.
Meanwhile, Dana's known all along.
Yeah, Dana's known, but we got the other side of that. So she's trying to, you know, find out more. And then I don't know if the thing with the ceilings there or not. That's again like her father's is like yelling at her that she's wrong. And
well, this is where he's angry that the newspaper says Jesse is no longer considered a suspect, and he's mad. And Dana's like, he's not a suspect. I don't suspect him. He's not a suspect. He's a person of interest. Person of interest, as we discussed last night, or 2 nights ago on the other show on Institute. But I did feel in the scene that Wayne is kind of a stereotypical cop that just wants to close the case and maybe doesn't care if you get the right guy, as long as we close the case and the newspapers aren't talking about it, right?
Right.
Like,
he also railroads what she says, because she's right. Like, she didn't think he was a suspect. It was her case.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he needs to leave it, but clearly he doesn't.
I feel like he just wants to round up the usual suspects and arrest somebody, and he doesn't. Maybe he's already decided who's guilty, right? Wayne is he kind of racist about that, or it's just the easy answer? It's just the easy answer.
Jerk. Yeah, I tend to think he just assumes the father did it, just like how some cops assume the husband did it and don't.
And
really
it's just easy that way, and let's just,
Yeah.
And if he didn't do this, he did something else. He's obviously, let's just put him in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I think it's an interesting juxtaposition of Dana and Wayne versus Jesse and Rose.
Yeah.
Because
they're kind of, they're both at odds, but in a different way.
Jesse and Rose disagreed in that argument in the bowling alley, but
it doesn't look like he treats her like Wayne.
Well, it doesn't feel like they have this kind of deep rift and disconnect that Dana.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right?
Is it's very interesting. Like, Wayne just doesn't get it at all.
Well, Wayne doesn't ever express really any love the way that Jesse and everybody around Rose, we had a fight, but I love her so much, and I have to, right? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Wayne also doesn't want to get it. Like, he isn't trying at all. At least at this point.
He's the only one that gets to be. He's the only one that is ever right. Everybody else is a bunch of morons. He's surrounded by a bunch of morons.
He's a white man with a badge. He's always right.
There you go.
I did want to make a point here, and I do not remember hearing this. And granted, I have not gone through and got my notes for this episode yet because our show's on Friday. I will do that. But I pulled up a recap, so I kind of read through it, so I sort of remembered what happened. But somebody picked up something I clearly did not yet because I haven't gone back. But there's a conversation when she talks to Brent. He had a twin brother. I missed that. I mean, I know I heard it, but I didn't remember it. It's kind of like that seems like that might come back up later. I'm wondering.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing since Brent is dead.
It'd be interesting if it ended up like that wasn't Brent or something.
Like it was his twin brother who framed it.
Yeah, that would be weird. That would be kind of interesting. Plus, I think that character, I liked the character. I didn't like him because he was bad, but I liked the actor as the character. I think that it worked, and I think that it could be cool if there's another one, and I don't know, could be. I guess I'll find out tonight because they said that.
I feel like this is Chekhov's twin. If a twin is mentioned, it will be seen in the last act, right?
Yeah. Anyway, that's why I wanted to bring it up because I did see it. And I do think that that's probably important. I just hadn't remembered about it. But yeah, they clearly are not on the same page. And I think that's that picture of Luke that Romy had on her social media. At least I think it is. I can't remember what it looked like, if it was yellow or not. But anyway. So that's when she sees the necklace.
I'm sorry, when you say Luke and Romy, those are not characters on the show.
No, Luke, as in the guy that was on our show.
Of the creator of Luke Boyce.
Yes, I had mentioned this. Yes, I had mentioned this before on I forgot that was on our other revival show that I mentioned it. Romy had posted a picture.
Romy, who is the actress who plays M, right?
M.
Had posted a behind the scenes picture of the wanted board that they had. And it looked like there was an Easter egg. I'm pretty sure it was him. Anyway, I was just making a comment because I had referenced it.
But you just threw those names out. I'm like, wait,
sorry.
That's because Jamie always thinks that everybody knows who everybody is.
I forget that I'm talking to myself half the time. I think.
I knew who you were talking about, but our listeners might not.
They were both on our show, so
we speak Jamie. We know. We know. We've been on this show for 20 years together now. We know.
I do tend to do that. Sorry. So then she goes and talks to Blaine. And this is where we find out that he was having some kind of relationship.
Oh, can you go back and zoom in on that amazing plaid on plaid ensemble there? I love it.
I didn't even notice that. He does have 2 plaid shirts on, doesn't he? That's great. Great costume department. He looks so different too, doesn't he? Like compared to what the character looks like now.
Yeah. They did a really good job of making him almost not look like the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks quite different. But he had some kind of relationship with Rose. He said that it wasn't sexual, but I mean, I don't know. That's where I think there was a disconnect, and I don't know. I feel like I got to go back and rewatch pieces of this because they had some kind of relationship clearly, but yet she was also with May. So,
well, he said like,
I'm trying to remember. It's a while since I've seen it.
I agree with you that it wasn't sexual. He didn't ever say it wasn't sexual. What he said was it wasn't.
He implied it. Yeah, he implied
it. Like Dana implies that he's like a creepy, like, you know, like that. He's special to me. It sounded very kind of stalkery to me, right?
Yeah.
But
well, he sent her all those letters, but then again, we don't know what's in the letters.
But she gave him the necklace though, so it wasn't like a stalker sending you.
Exactly. Clearly, it was reciprocated.
Whatever it was.
And she saved them. It wasn't like, oh, the stalker sent me their letter. I will throw it in the trash now, right? She saved all these letters.
Yeah. Yeah.
They definitely had something, but maybe it was just a friendship. Who knows? We don't know. I don't know. Do you guys have any guesses?
I mean, that's all I thought. It had a close connection, friendship. I mean,
it happens. People have close friendships, and they don't kill each other.
Usually, they don't send them what appeared to be love letters. But again,
they weren't love letters, though. Nobody said they were love letters.
I know. I said we didn't see what were in the letters, but generally, if you find a bunch of letters like that, they are love letters, and that's what.
I don't know. I mean, I have letters I have a bunch of letters that someone
nowadays people don't write letters as often. So now usually if you have a bunch of letters from a guy, I'm not saying always, I'm saying that I can see why Dana would assume that because she found a whole, tackle box full of letters from this guy. So they seemed like love. At least to me, I would have assumed that. I'm not saying they were, but
okay. So I would say, Jamie, that I think the show maybe wants us to assume they're love letters and is going to upend this before we find the answer. I don't think it's a love affair.
No, I don't necessarily think it is.
Rose was in love with her, and they were. I mean, I don't. Yeah, May was in love with Rose. We don't know if Rose was in love with May, but May was in love with Rose, right?
Well, they were moving away together, so. She obviously,
I've lived with people I wasn't in love with. They could have been secretly
in love with. No, but they were clearly in a relationship. I mean,
some of my roommates, if any of my roommates are out there, were you ever secretly in love with me and I didn't know about it? I don't know, right?
I don't know.
But you're right. They were like laying on the bed and stroking each other's hair and shit, right? They were together.
They were So we don't.
I never like my roommate's hair
for advice because he ended up a preacher, I mean, who knows? We don't know. That's the thing.
Yeah. Or she could have been like, oh, you used to live in Chicago? Tell me about it. Like, we don't really know, right?
Yeah. I just feel like I need to rewatch it was my point with that. Like,
I think you're right, Jamie. I think they want us to assume they're love letters. Only nerds like us are like, he never said that. Right? Like, I think they want us to, that's implied. That's what Dana suspects. That's what people suspect. And maybe it was something.
Or it could have been partially one-sided. It could have been that he had deeper feelings than she did. Like maybe to her it was a friendship and him it wasn't, and that's why he killed her or whatever. We don't know. We don't know for sure.
I hate when that happens.
Assuming, but it seems like he did.
Anyway,
he found the body in his car, but that's not yet.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it wasn't his car. It was just a car in a junkyard.
Well, it's in his junkyard. I mean, they're clearly implying that. I said it doesn't mean it is, but that's what they I think want you to think. So anyway, they arrest Jessie. She gets called away to do that. And her father's kind of like, case closed, you lose. I mean, basically, he's over.
Yeah.
He doesn't even
move on.
I'm right. You're wrong.
Yeah. He's not a good father or a good cop at this point.
Next time my father annoys me, I'm going to think about this and be like, all right, you're not that
bad, right? Yeah, you're not that bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets taken away. She goes to see him in jail, or not in jail, at the precinct. And she's like, I don't think you did it. But he tells her that he doesn't want her help anymore because now he's frustrated and Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously,
She did kind of make it worse, right? Like
She did. She didn't intend to, but she did. And then we see. I know we had talked about this on our show. They brought the drip back.
Oh, you talked about that on.
No, we had mentioned how this drip was in the show on the first
Oh,
time,
yeah.
and Luke had said when he was in our chat that it was coming back, and it did.
Drip.
So yeah, I think it's kind of like,
it's just water, right? It's not like
but it's
body up there dripping
and getting worse. No, but I think it kind of
know of.
represents some of the problems, I guess, to me anyway. The fact that they're showing it again, but either way, it's
on her desk. Like she's the sheriff's daughter, and she has the worst desk with the drip.
That too, yeah. I never thought about that, but that's true. Like, why is she sitting there? Why isn't Brent sitting there?
Yeah.
Because Wayne probably likes Brent more than Dana.
Yeah. Yes, AJ. Yes.
The nail on the head there. So then May comes into the precinct and is like, I think here she's arguing with her too, telling her she's not doing her job, isn't she? I'm trying to remember.
She's like, I can't believe you arrested him. Like, this is ridiculous. He didn't kill her.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, even she thinks it, and she was in love with her, and she doesn't believe that. So yeah. But then again, Dana doesn't believe it either. And it's kind of like this poor, I kind of feel bad for Dana because she's screaming at her like she isn't the one that thought that in the first place. So don't yell at Dana, go yell at Wayne, So then we see the flashback that is where she catches Jesse, and he's like, my daughter's already dead. I've already been punished. Let me go. And she does. And that was part of what led to the whole fights we've seen before between her and her father. And then the other part of it, sorry, I am trying to move. The other part of it is with May investigating more about Brent and finding out that he skipped his bowling night. And she thinks that he is the one that killed Rose. And we basically find out that because I think she told him, didn't she? Because that's why he ends up there. But Jesse ended up waiting for Brent on Revival Day, and Brent came and killed him. And that is how she found his body, like when she was talking to, I forget his name, the coroner guy. Randy. I don't know where I got Trevor. Anyway, where she was talking to Randy, this is where she looked in it and she's like, oh, it is him. So she knows that Brent killed him as well, or at least she has a very strong suspicion. And then he comes back to life on Revival Day, and that kind of takes us back to where we left off before the flashbacks of Jesse saying that they found, because there was the whole thing with the shirt as evidence, which is why they thought that he did it, but they found was the necklace at, I forget, like they found M's pill bottle, but what was the other thing they found? Was it the necklace?
Necklace.
Where the evidence was. Okay. So he found the necklace and the pill bottle in that area, and that's why he thinks that M was killed in the same place. And she is having flashbacks that involve the guy, which we saw last week, the guy in the skull mask, and Aaron was there too. So yeah, it seems that Aaron is involved. Like I said, I'm still a little confused how both Aaron and Brent are involved. Like I guess Aaron was part of the kidnapper, and then I don't know if he called Brent to get rid of the body. I was a little confused about that, and that's why I feel like I need to.
Well, he called.
So I'm trying to remember.
He called somebody. He called the person I think that sent him to get her, because he says, "I've got her. Meet us at the spot." I want to understand why Aaron. I mean, on the surface, Aaron doesn't.
Brent to kill him to get him out of the way. Maybe
Brent was hired. Brent was hired after the fact.
Okay, so that's why I said he might have been hired to kill this guy.
Wait, you mean Brent, JJ? You mean Brent was hired to kill Aaron after the fact, or you mean Brent was hired to plant the shirt, to plant Rose's shirt after the fact?
Yes. He was hired to plant the shirt, but he also killed Jesse, so he might have.
Well, he killed Jesse because he spotted him.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Rose had been taken and presumably killed, and then
remember he killed Jesse on Revival Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent was and Rose went missing 2 years earlier, but Brent was involved
Exactly.
2 years ago. He was hired to plant the shirt
Right.
after they needed to incriminate Jesse.
Yeah.
I mean,
they
there
killed
are a
him
lot
to
of
clean up
questions
evidence.
around here. Like, so it is implied that, not implied, but like Brent's mother was very sick at the time, right? With
Yes.
cancer, and he
Mhm.
had medical bills, right? And so that could be a motive for him to, he maybe he was
That's
accepting to do these things, right?
Yeah, absolutely the motive.
Aaron's
paid-
involvement is very
Yeah, I don't get.
questionable.
I don't get Aaron's involvement at all. On the
Unless it has
surface,
something to do
Aaron's.
with his
I mean,
wife.
other than cheating on his wife, on the surface, Aaron doesn't seem like a bad person. Everything we've seen about him pretty much shows that he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be involved in anything that he's doing, but he does it anyway. So somebody's. I feel like somebody's blackmailing him with something. I don't know what it could be.
And like his involvement in M's situation, okay, they had a relationship, right? Like, but his involvement in the Rose murder is very different. Like 2 years ago, how did he come to be involved in that?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that's we're missing pieces, and I still can't figure out who the mastermind is, because I feel like it's got to be somebody that we know. But all the people I possibly think it could be, none of them knew that M was a reviver. Like Blaine did not know that M was a reviver. If Blaine killed M, then
clearly she wasn't killed because she was a reviver. That was before she became a reviver.
Well,
so
no. You're not understanding me. Whoever killed her in the stream that night, okay?
Yeah.
And then she shows up the next day alive. Ding, ding, ding. She's a reviver because I just killed her. But Blaine didn't know she was a reviver. Aaron didn't know she was a reviver.
Which makes them not the murderer. Which makes them not the murderer.
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. You're right. Or they're good at acting, but we're to assume, yeah. I hadn't even thought
it's kind of one thing that's great about, so I wasn't here last week with you guys to talk about, but last week's episode and this week's episode, I feel like one of the great things about this story is like you're watching a story about Revival Day, people coming back from being dead. We have seen the creeps, the glowing, whatever they are, right? Characters, which we haven't gotten to yet in this week's episode.
They do call creepers.
Well, they're called the creeps. They're called the creeps in the comics. But all of that is going on, and like what we have in the last 2 weeks is the core of this, like a past murder, a criminal conspiracy, maybe, and they were all fine and getting away with it until Revival Day, and now their plans are all screwed up, right? And like how Revival Day really affects like this sort of maybe run of the mill kind of crime investigation is kind of a really cool way to do the story, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting to have an investigation of a murder where the person's alive. That doesn't happen.
And it's digging up. Revival Day is digging up like solutions to stuff that has been buried. Like, okay, so people who were dead and buried for 2 weeks have come back to life, but Revival Day is bringing back someone who was dead and buried 2 years ago, or dead and thrown in the car 2 years ago. Rose, right? Like, it's kind of cool how it's like bringing up like other kinds of secrets as a cool part of the story.
Yeah. Was it 2 years ago though?
Yes.
It's 2 years before Revival Day that she goes missing in the first.
Oh, that's right. It does say 2 years before. Yeah. Okay.
You had it up on the screen.
No, I know. I forgot.
It's late. But, I'll cut Jamie some slack on that one.
Yeah. So anyway, they talk. She reads her journal. That's not really that important to the story.
Yeah.
Then we have Jesse who sneaks in to where Blaine is at in order to investigate, and this is where he finds that the as you said, the creep is there, which I guess was his. And I don't know. There was the whole thing we had where we talked about last week where that woman that I can't remember her name, where she goes, that's not mine, when they made her whatever they did to her touching the creep. So we're assuming that they might be talking about this creature thing. So I'm assuming since he voluntarily went to it, that if that is the case, that it's his. But
That's his.
anyway,
Well, I mean, his like not ownership, but
no,
like
we don't even know what that means yet. So I'm just
connection
saying.
wise,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
I think at the end of the episode when Blaine says, "Where's my angel?" he has been asserting ownership of something he is keeping trapped in his basement, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Blaine means it in a different way, clearly.
Other people mean it in a sense of connection, maybe.
Yes, that's fair.
Here's our guest star Kiki making an appearance again.
Kiki's here. He says, "I've had a hard day. I got a bath today, and I was very upset."
Not that.
So
here's Jesse. So this is where he has gone into the house. He was gonna cut Blaine's throat. He gets distracted by the glow, and he comes outside, right?
yeah, and then he finds the car that I'm trying to remember how we knew about the car. The car was number one on a jump drive.
There was a flash. There was a flash drive. They took a message. There was a text message between Blaine and Aaron about a
Did
blue
we know
cutlass.
for sure that's who it was between, though?
Yes.
We knew that was Aaron, but did we know it was Blaine on the other end, or
Yes.
we assumed? Okay, I couldn't remember.
And it said something about a blue cutlass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And whenever Jesse stole the USB, that's how he found it too. So that's why he recognized he recognized the make of the car. He looks in it, and Rose's body is in it. So this is where I said this is implying that Blaine is killed her or is involved in killing her. It doesn't necessarily mean that. I'm just saying it's implying it because it's in his car lot.
And also that the creep has lured him out to show him this. The creep has shown him his daughter's body. The creep has brought him this closure, or brought him to the conclusion. He's shown him what he wants to find.
Right. And now he feels he can whatever. I'm assuming they're moving on. I'm calling it moving on when they disintegrate and touch the creep or whatever.
I mean, that happens later. He brings her body. We see later that he
brings the body.
Yeah.
And then May gets to know too what happened. So they all get closure. Now this is where she's talking. Emma's talking to Rhodey, and she wants to see him. And I remember at this point, I'm like, this has got to be bad. Don't do this. I remember watching that.
His name is what's his name, boyfriend?
Rhodey.
Yeah.
And this is where I had a problem with the episode, because
I did too.
First of all, he says to her, "I escaped." She doesn't know where he escaped from. He doesn't know that he had to escape from somewhere. Yeah. It's not like Wayne was like, "Hey, I put your boyfriend in."
Yeah, that was like a mistake then.
She's been looking for him. She's like, "I've been calling. Where have you been?" And he's like, "I escaped." She never says, "Escape from where? What are you talking about?" Right?
Yeah.
And she even knows something's up. It's like she feels something's wrong. So I was thinking when he asked to meet, that she was like telling him someplace to go, and then she was gonna like, stay back and kind of like spy on the area and see what was going on. But no, she just walked right into the trap.
No, she wasn't doing this level of.
And it was so obvious that he was setting her up, right?
Yeah,
like, he was totally setting her up.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like she even seemed like she could tell something was wrong.
What's wrong? Are you okay? Yeah. And she walks right into it.
Yeah.
And he says, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." So like he didn't escape. He's been captured and he's been like compromised to facilitate her capture, right? And it's kind of shitty. It's kind of a shitty thing to do, right? And yet maybe they were torturing him, and who knows, right? So, like, he's probably been tortured.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
we saw the shit they were doing to the other guy.
So. He barely knows this girl. Not that makes it okay. I'm just saying, like he was.
They're in love. I believe they're in love.
Yeah, no, they are.
And because they are only like 18 or 19 years old, I believe they can fall in love in like 5 days.
True.
Because young people, sometimes have their feelings right just up here, right? I believe that they're in love. Or is it puppy love? Is it infatuation? I believe they have intense feelings for each other.
Yes, and he has been bribed, or I guess is the way you'd say it, by that.
Bribed is the wrong word.
No, I know it's not the right word, but by that colonel or whatever she was, not bribed, but like been. We won't torture you anymore, and we'll let you go if you do it. That's not really bribed, but
he has been coerced, manipulated, compromised, whatever they've done to him. I think they probably tortured him and maybe chopped. Like, look, you can chop off his hand and it'll grow back, right? Like, I think they give them those. He says they have a drug that really. He says to M, he says there's a drug that really messes us up. It's the snake venom that they give them, right? It's very painful.
Yeah.
He's been somehow co-opted into betraying her. It's really bad, but I agree, AJ, that M's actions were kind of dumb. Like, they didn't.
Maybe he was hoping she'd pick up on what he said. Maybe he figured she'd say, "Where do you come from?" and figure it out.
Maybe to see her on the screen be like, if I saw a look on her face that I thought she was going to try to rescue him right back, like, maybe I would have believed it better, right?
Yeah.
And then they dart her. So, a side note: if you're a reviver and everything grows back, so I can chop off your thumb and it'll grow back the next day, or your hair will grow back or whatever. I wonder how
your hair grows back anyway, Karen. Generally.
What? No, stuff grows.
Generally, you chop somebody's hair off, it does grow back.
Well, but I mean, everything grows back. You're right. You'd be a reviver for your hair to grow back.
That's just what you said. I know what you mean.
But they heal, and so I wonder how effective anesthetic dart is going to be on her. But I assume we're going to see her caged and super angry. And
yeah, I mean, I said last week they showed that jail cell. It was clear that she was going to.
Yeah, that was for her.
Well, look at her face in that scene. Like, she's
not happy, that's for sure.
We know that revivers are powerful and strong because we've seen that. But I feel like M is extra and maybe being dunked.
Oh, you know what?
Water.
Yeah, you weren't here last. You weren't here last week. I said that last week. I think because she was killed in that stream, that's what has made her special.
Okay, Luke is with us. Yay.
Oh, hey, Luke.
Hey, Luke.
Luke said one of those things that's off screen, but Dana knew that Rhodey was put into Riverside and probably told M, so she knew. Okay, that helps.
Okay. So when he calls and we're like, "What do you mean you escaped?" Yeah.
But that doesn't excuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, Luke, that does not excuse her not catching on that something was wrong there.
Well, she's, like you said, she's 20. She's in love. She's allowed to be a little.
When you're 20 and you're in love, you think you're going to be together for the rest of your life.
That's fine, but figure out that something's not right first.
Well, I think we knew she was going to end up in, like I said, she's going to end up in that jail cell. You know she is. Yeah.
I love that. Jamie, is that photo from the press dump on the website?
No, these are all screen captures.
That picture is great. I mean, the M's face in that is like what I want to see in the next episode.
Yeah, that's great. Characters do stupid things.
Yeah, we're used to that.
You know what? Humans do stupid things.
Yeah, that's true. But she's going to get pulled away there. I will just say I'm very excited to find out what happens.
It was a really kind of I mean, it ended on such a high adrenaline note, right? Like this, there was so much in this episode, and like I think the whole Blackbeard thing got a lot of our feelings going, right? And then like we have this betrayal and this thing with them.
Yeah.
At the end.
And I think she's gonna get revenge probably in the best way. Like that's what I'm looking for.
Am I the only person who's kind of excited for her to get captured and locked up so she can go?
She gets revenge on her. Yeah,
she can go all avenging angel on those people, right? Like she did on the Czech Brothers. Can she go Czech Brothers on these people?
First, she has to get out of the cage, though.
Yeah, she has to get out.
She does. Yeah. But I'm also, as we said, as we said in the first part of our discussion tonight, we talked about like how we're really waiting for Wayne to find that moment when his daughter is incarcerated, and he realized it. As Jamie said, like what he's done, he's going to be responsible for it partly, right?
Yeah, he caused it. I would love to see. I don't know that it's going to happen, but I would kind of like to see him go on a rampage and go after people because it's his fault, but maybe
he already does.
Fix it. No, I know, but
don't deserve it.
Like, really go after the government or whatever.
No, I'm pretty sure that what's going to happen is Wayne is going to say, Dana, it's your fault for not babysitting your sister.
Probably.
That is
Probably.
all Wayne's number one answer is Dana, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the action parts with M will be fun. I just want to get to the bottom of who the killer is because it's driving me nuts that I can't figure out who it could possibly be.
I mean, the Aaron thing is crazy, right? For Aaron to be implicated in the Black Deer murder is kind of surprising because we all assumed that it had to do with his affair with M, and for him to be involved with this murder that probably was 2 years previous, right? I mean, we assume that Rose has been in that trunk for 2 years. It's possible she wasn't, but and for Aaron to have been involved in her abduction.
He abducted her, but he like abducted his own girlfriend too. Like he still was to blame whether he killed her or not. At least that's what it seems to. AJ or Luke says you don't think it's Blaine. AJ's asking.
No, and you must not have heard my reason before because if Blaine is the one that killed M, then he would have known she was a reviver.
I think that's.
And he didn't know until Dana accidentally said something.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Bill's comment. It's a whole town of murderers.
Maybe it's like Clue. Maybe it's like Clue, where each thing is a different person.
Anybody who is surprised to learn that M is a reviver can't be the killer, right?
Right.
Or they're a really good actor, but probably.
Unless they're acting and being like, "What, you're a reviver?"
But I also don't think it's Blaine because that's what they want us to think.
Yeah.
That's why, that's like with Jesse going off half cocked and Dana going, now wait a minute. We don't know that it's definitely him,
Yeah.
Like, especially when you cast Stephen Ogg. I love Stephen Ogg, but like it'd be great to have cast him and for him to turn out to be like, okay, like to not have killed. Look, I think he's not a great character because he's keeping a creep in his basement. He calls it an angel, but he's using it for his own purposes. Like, he's definitely not a good. He's a charlatan and a bad dude.
I'm going to go back to something I said last week. So I had said brought this up last week too, Karen. I'm going to go back to, you know what? I'm going to go back to questioning the mayor because the mayor seems like a pretty good guy. His wife's a reviver and everything, but he's government. And whoever, I feel like this whole land deal thing is part of the reason that Rose was abducted. So I'm going back to the mayor is the only character I could think of that might not have known M was even alive, let alone a reviver.
And when in doubt, always blame the government. But yeah, the mayor,
Yeah, maybe.
I
can't think of anybody else. I don't know.
I mean, I love that. I think everyone thought they were watching a zombie story, and now it's a murder mystery, which is like the mixing of genre, which comes from the source material, right? Which I've read part of, and also this. This is a great like mashup of stuff.
Yeah, it's got a lot.
Cue the X-Files.
I just do. What'd you say? I heard the word X-Files.
Bill said cue the X-Files music.
Yeah. I do think, though, or I'm questioning. I mean, I don't know yet, but I'm kind of assuming just because it's a TV show and you can't pull it to the whole series, I'm assuming they are going to tell us who the murderer is at the end of the season. I hope, but I don't know. Maybe we won't know.
Well, it depends on when it's revealed in the comic and where their stopping point is. I mean, this was 8. So we got 2 episodes left. Right.
I mean, the comic ran a few years, but short seasons, right? No, it wasn't like that. It's not like.
Well, the tricky. I mean, you got to remember the tricky thing about comics is comic series can go on for 6 years
and be like 50 issues, right?
There, Luke says.
Oh well, okay. There we go, Luke.
10, yeah, good. That's kind of what I figured because I didn't think they're going to stretch it the whole series because people would.
It all depends what the comic did. I mean, I know they've made changes, but.
Yeah, but it's.
Well, so all right, so we'll find out in 2 weeks. We'll have our answer.
I'll find out tonight.
The comic ran for like 5 years, but it was only 47 issues.
Right, that's what I'm saying because you got to remember, there's only one each month. It's not like a TV show where there's one each week.
Yeah, that makes a big difference, I think. All right.
I mean, I love that. I just love that this show is so in this week's episode, I was so much more invested in the murder, in Rose's murder. Never mind, like M's murder is the main thing. I'm like, so I got suddenly so into Rose's murder. And then when the creep showed up at the end, which was a great scene, right? Where Jesse goes to the creep and they, move on. And yet I'm like, oh, you're right. I forgot about that part. Like I forgot that the show is also about like this otherworldly thing that's happening. Like it made me really invested in the murder, which I think is a great episode that lets you change your attention that way.
Yeah, it's a flashback, and we were still totally, involved throughout it.
Well, yeah, I mean, because it's a flashback that has a lot to do with what's happening now.
Right, but I mean, a lot of times in a show, if they have a whole episode that's a flashback, you're like, really? But no, this was good. But no, I was going to say, the thing I was just thinking, though, like we have Blaine, who we're assuming from what happened, again, we didn't see it, but we're assuming that woman that they kidnapped, that they forced her to, ET, whatever. I was going to call it ET, the creep, and she died or whatever, which is different from them dying on purpose or moving on or whatever it is they do.
She didn't have a good experience as others.
Right. She didn't have a good experience. But I kind
Because
of
it wasn't hers.
Really interesting, I think, if in the end of the show that happens to Blaine. Like he's forced to like live what he's been like making these poor revivers, like screwing with them. Like
right.
Like at the end he'll run into a creep that's somebody's and it'll like kill
We've seen two people, Jordan and Jesse, who felt like that the creep was calling them, meeting them, and they went willingly. And when we saw a person who was shoved in there and didn't go willingly, like it was a bad experience, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying it would be interesting if in the end, like, he gets killed by a creep. Not that I want it to be for a while, because I like Stephen Hawking. I want him to stay in the show. But I'm just saying.
I'd like him also being killed by Dana, though.
Oh, yeah, that's cool, too. Yeah. It depends. If he didn't kill M, then we don't know if he deserves to die for sure. But I guess I'm just saying it would kind of be like his comeuppance. Yeah. But, all right. Well, we will find out.
Yes.
And Lori and I will be obviously deep diving this on Friday. And we have 2 episodes because we did unfortunately miss last week since my family was over. So we're going to have a long discussion on Friday about this again, about the episode before this.
All right. On to Sandman.
We're going to jump on a revival, and whoever hasn't seen Sandman yet, you better drop out because we're going to cover the last 2 episodes of the drop.
Yeah. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Luke. Great to see you.
Yeah, great to hear from you. And I'll have to let you know what I think of the
Karen, it's not the last 2 episodes of Sandman. This is episode.
There's still the bonus.
No, there's
9 and 10.
There's still 1 episode plus the bonus.
Yeah.
There's 11 and the bonus. We're doing 9 and 10 tonight, right?
We're doing 9 and 10 tonight.
There's 11 in the bonus. Okay,
and
so
I'm not 11 yet, so I'm where you guys are.
So I'm gonna rely on you guys. So I look. So I missed you guys last week. I watched 7, 8, 9, 10 together, which was the drop, I think. Right? They dropped 4 together.
They're all 6 out.
I watched 9 and 10. Yeah. 7, 8, 9, 10. And so
That's revival. That's not it.
I loved these 2 episodes, 9 and 10. I really enjoyed these 2 episodes. I like the story. Do I have a few things I didn't like? Of course. Do I have parts of the story I didn't love? Of course. But I really feel like, so the story had to end the way it ended because it's the way Gaiman wrote it. But I feel like Dream's story, it's the only way Gaiman could write it. Like he couldn't have written it any different. I really liked where we went with Dream. The casting, the characters, the acting. I just love these 2 episodes. I thought they were really good. And
I thought they were really sad though.
They were really sad.
Oh,
I kind of figured he was going to die, but I was hoping he wouldn't.
And the ways that I have occasionally complained, more than once I've complained this season about the pacing of the show. Some stuff moving too fast, some stuff moving too slow. And AJ's always like, Karen, you've read it. You know Dream's story. And I just feel like they kind of really nailed these last 2.
Well, yeah. For the thing for me is the definite change in the TV show with what they did with Dream. The comic, he never really got it in the comic.
No.
He totally gets it now in this. I mean, he cried. We saw him smile. We saw him smile.
In the
Artie
show.
was like, Artie goes, holy shit, did Dream just smile?
Yeah, he never smiles. He never cries. He doesn't really. I mean, does he get it? He doesn't get it the way he does in the show. But it was cathartic, right? It ended like it. I mean, AJ, how did you are a deeper student of I've read the comic, you read the comic, you've maybe read it more deeply or more than once, or you remember it more. How did you feel about these 2 episodes?
Oh, I liked them a lot. Like I just said, I like the little changes they made. I like that they kind of expanded on a bunch of stuff too that was more one note in the comic, especially the stuff with Loki and Puck.
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
The only thing I haven't really liked, the only thing that they've done that I really didn't like was they did some of the reveals a lot sooner than expected. Like I said, the conversation that he has with Lita way back in the first episode of the season when he's talking about Daniel, like that scene plays differently in the comic, and because of the lines that he says, Artie's like, Dream's gonna die and he's gonna be the new Dream. I was like, holy shit.
He gave it Artie really quick. Yeah.
Yeah, he caught it immediately.
Yeah. And so, Jamie, as a non-comic person, how did you like these 2 episodes, like coming to the end of Dream's story? Because for you, it's all new, right? For you, it's unexpected.
Yeah, I really liked it. Like I said, I found it really sad, and I was hoping he wouldn't die. But yeah, you kind of could see that's where it was going. I don't know that it would have made sense to hold off, like, as a TV show about Daniel, because I feel like that would have, like, even if maybe I didn't think at the very beginning, like your son, I think that probably after a certain point you would have realized it and it would have become obvious. But yeah, I liked it. I kept wanting them, like, to be though, like, I'll go with you, just leave everybody alone, because I kind of felt bad, like they were attacking everybody else who didn't do anything.
Yes.
I mean, women are not supposed to be evil, but they definitely seem evil to me. And I don't like what they did. I mean, story-wise, yes, but I mean, like, as for characters, I don't want them to be hurt. I don't like what they did to Lida, because it was mean. Like, they used her grief to turn her into a killer, and it's like, I know in a way well, to her it may not be real because she thinks she was sleeping, but
Was sleeping.
yeah. Like, I think what they did to her to make her get the revenge was mean, because hers was from grief, and she even a couple times was kind of like, what am I doing? And he didn't do it. But yet they kind of, I don't want to say they forced her, but they definitely coerced her into...
she was their avatar.
She was their avatar. And I feel like there could have been other ways it could have done it, and it made me really dislike their characters. But again, you're not supposed to like their characters.
Look, they did manipulate her. Like, Lita really... her goal was to get her son back. Like, she didn't really want to. I mean, would she kill Dream to get her son back? Yes, but she didn't really want to destroy the dreaming or even know what that meant. She just wanted her son back, and it was kind of sad at the end when after the Furies have manipulated her. And look, it's the Furies. That's what they do. And she's like, but wait, Daniel, like, you can't get down. Like, first Henrietta says it to her, and then later
that's never going to happen.
And later the Furies say, like, you can't get your son back. That's not what this was about. It's not about that. This is about revenge, which is the role of the Furies.
And that's what wasn't fair to her.
You know, the whole Lita story since season 1 has taken they've changed that. Out of all the changes they made, they've changed her the most.
I haven't liked it, really.
And I haven't. And I feel like they actually did the fans a disservice in this direction they went with Lita, especially on the tail end here, because it is so much more powerful and gripping what they did in the comic. In the comics, she loses her fucking mind. Like, you see the decline of her sanity in the comic. I mean, by the time she gets to the Kindly Ones, she's already, like, snapped. And it makes much more sense as to why she's doing what she's doing.
Yeah, because in this, she's just, like, hanging around with her friend. They're all rich, doing whatever. And then one day her son's kidnapped and she goes insane. But we saw that she made that deal with Dream last season, right? Where the baby's not even really supposed to, the baby's a dream baby, whatever. And Dream's like, you can have him, but I'll come for him, whatever. Like, she made that deal. I get that. How many mythology stories are about, like, you make a deal with the gods and you want to go back on it? But she made that deal. She knew it. But they just suddenly drop it. They just drop it in this episode, right? That, like,
yeah,
Loki is a catalyst.
Did she so much don't make a deal as he said that I'll let you keep him, but this is what I'm doing? I don't know that she made an agreement with him. He just said I'm taking him sometime, right? Or am I misremembering?
Well, but the baby was never like the baby was
never real.
conceived in the dream.
Kind of.
Her
Yeah.
husband.
The
was
baby
dead.
should never have been born.
The baby was
No.
not. In that sense, he was almost like not a real baby, right?
Right. But I mean, he didn't say, I'll let you keep him if you let me take him later. He just said, I'm coming back to get him later. It wasn't like really a deal.
I mean, I guess it's implied when you're like, I'm coming for that baby at some point, because the baby's not, the baby's he was conceived in the dream, and he's part of the dreaming. It's almost like, I wasn't said, but it's like, you can foster him, you can have custody, but whatever. But granted, so like Loki, they give a lot to Loki and Puck for this like scheme they have. But I also agree that Lita, Hippolyta / Lita, like her descent into the Furies orbit is pretty fast and pretty different, right? Like one day your son is like, I'm gonna kill Dream, and I'm like, you're gonna kill Dream, what? Right? But
that's what I'm saying. Like some of the changes they made to flesh out some of the characters and give the audience more, they did the exact opposite with her. Like, I would have loved to have seen her decline on screen.
Yeah.
The way that I envisioned, the way I saw it in the comic. I mean, it wasn't in the comics. It wasn't just like a couple panels here and there. It was over a couple issues watching her fall into madness.
And it doesn't really work greatly. To me, it didn't work greatly on the screen. Jamie, you didn't read comics, so I'm going to ask you this, but like she falls under the spell of Hetty, right? And then she's like, oh, I'm part of the Furies. Let me just go kill everybody in the dreaming. Let me just go all crazy and do whatever. And like, wait, what? What?
Yeah, she clearly didn't understand really what was going on. And that's what, that's the part like I said, I didn't love that. And I feel like they definitely used her. I mean, you were supposed to not like those characters, but
and they're the Furies. They do what they do. They have their job to do, but
kill her, and she wasn't bad. Like,
they used her. They were like, because they were like all along and earlier episodes, they're like, okay, so we won't do, like, Dream spilled family blood, but they won't do anything
unless somebody comes after you. But if nobody comes after you, we're going to make somebody come after you. Is basically the way it goes.
They went out of their way to coerce Lita to come after him. Like they
wanted their revenge.
They took act, right? Like they took action to be sure that it came to them. And like, wait, that's not your job. You're not the judge. The judge can't also be the police investigator and the DA, right? Which is what they did, basically.
Yeah. Let's see. The one thing I did like was, I guess that's not the two of them. I thought that was the two of them together.
Oh, what did you think about that? What did you think
about them together? I thought it was cute, and not that they had to be like, clearly like he likes her and they didn't need to do that, but I think it was funny. Like I liked it, and it seems like that's where they're going with this. That maybe that's her love interest. I don't know, but I like this kind of buddy cop thing between her and him because it just kind of works. And I know you said in the comic it was what, Matthew and who? Which one of them? I forget who you said was
Corinthian,
okay. But I like this. Speaking of Matthew, I really hoped that at the very end when he had Matthew go back to dreaming, I thought maybe he'd turn him human, but I guess that didn't happen. So I just wanted to put out there. I mean, I know he didn't make him a ring.
I really disagreed. I thought the Corinthian was really a creeper, and he was coming on too strong, and he was too aggressive. And I don't know.
I found it funny.
I thought it was creepy. I thought it was creepy, like almost from the minute he meets her. Okay, she's hot. And she gets it
all the time and pushing him away. She didn't let him do anything. I don't know.
I thought he was way too creepy. And also she knows him as a serial killer. And I just thought I thought he came on too strong. He was a little too creepy. I mean, the comic, whatever, it's different, but I thought he came on. I mean, I knew it was going to happen from like, as soon as like he appears with her together and he's like, all like, hey baby, let's get together. It goes back to that moment where Joanna says to when Dream gives Joanna the diary, she says, wait a minute, you gave my ancestor her true love and you give me a diary. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's giving you your true love. For sure, she's going to get her true love. Over, right? I just didn't really see that. I mean, he was a little smarmy coming on guy, and she was like, ooh. I just didn't see them, except for their clear physical chemistry. Look, these two actors have chemistry for sure, right? But except for that, I didn't see like why he would be her true love. Because why she might date him and hang out.
Yeah, that I agree with. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the interactions were good and funny. I don't know that I believe it's her true love either, but I enjoy working together. And I enjoyed
these actors have chemistry.
Him flirting with her and her not flirting back, like telling him off. Like, I like their
banter.
Yes.
And her not flirting back. Her not flirting back is still flirting in a way, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, aside from all that stuff though, I loved all the other banter and everything. You know, I like them trying to find Loki and everything. I thought that thought it was a lot of fun. I love the conversation with the two of them and Puck. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Oh, when they meet Puck at the bar?
Yeah.
At the bar.
Yeah, how do you
I got it.
How do you like Loki and Puck in this back half?
Like I said before, I kind of appreciated the expanded relationship with them.
Yeah.
They because in the comic it was much more narrow and quicker, and they didn't really didn't give him a whole lot. I mean, they made some changes with that too. I mean, in the comic, Puck is totally on board with throwing Daniel into the fire. Like, they actually do it together in the comic.
Yeah, it makes Puck a little
less
better of a guy, right? Like, he likes.
I gotta say, I'm glad Jack Gleason decided to resume acting after saying he was going to retire because he was so hated as Joffrey.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's good in this. I liked how he was like, "Oh, I like this baby. Oh, Loki, you're a jerk."
Yeah.
But ultimately, he's not mad that Loki put the baby in the fire. He's mad that Loki lied to him, right?
Well, he's mad that he put him to sleep with his own pixie dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love when he walks away though, and he says to the Corinthian, he says to the Corinthian, if you ever change your mind, and he leans into Constantine, and he's like, "You're a very lucky lady."
By the way, Jamie, I love this photograph of the three of them sitting in that bar.
Yeah,
really great.
I like the way they have the green in the background too.
Yeah,
it makes it pop.
Yeah.
This is a fun scene. I think that whole scene between them.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I love seeing the Corinthian come back in. I mean, of course, I've read the comics also. Not every part of the entire universe, but I've read this part, and to see the Corinthian come back. I think, Jamie, when you saw the Corinthian come back, how surprised were you, and how much did you like or not like that?
Oh, I was very surprised, and at first I didn't like it because I didn't like him because he was a bad guy the first time. Like, you weren't supposed to like him, but I like this version of him, and I can separate it and think, okay, he's a different person. He was a dream. He wasn't.
I mean, I hate his eye teeth and how his eye.
It's kind of cool, but it's kind of not. Like,
I'll probably not sleep tonight now that I've talked about his eye teeth. Yeah, but.
Yeah, Muncher says that. What's his first name? Anyway,
Jack
Gleason. Jack Gleason scares you.
Did he?
He was very scary in this, right? Like, yeah, for sure.
And he's sleeping around with everybody. I forgot until I was going through to get the captures. I forgot that he was sleeping with what's his face too, the other fairy. I forgot about that.
Oh
well. This whole thing is like sort of post-sexual, whatever, post-judgment, not judgment. We're not judging.
It's also fairy, so
true.
In another realm. So, but at this point, this is the point where in this photo where Puck is like, yeah, whatever, go get the baby,
he's upstairs.
I mean, we do see Loki get his comeuppance eventually. Sort of, right?
Well, that's where.
Oh, that's a great shot, also of Dream. Yeah.
Oh, there's
I-
some, well,
I-
that's
Even though it's not Dream,
that's just that's
Oh
Loki.
no, that's not. That's Loki.
it's Loki.
That's Loki. Yeah. And I love that shot. I have really loved Jenna Coleman in the role as Constantine.
Yeah,
And I do love this guy who plays the Corinthian. And I do like these two together. Did the show give us the total basis for them to be together? I don't know, but those two are so great on screen. They look good together. They both look fantastic. They crackle on screen. Their chemistry is great. These two, some of the best chemistry of these characters, I think.
Yeah, enjoyed that. And we got to see them. That's where they fought each other. Yeah. It's all Loki. And then Odin shows up.
That was weird, right?
Well, she called him. Remember?
She summoned him. Remember?
Earlier, yeah.
So
you didn't expect him to show up right now.
Yeah, so it worked out for them in the long run, I guess.
The best part about that scene. This is something I love. Little throw-in things. The best part of that scene is when Thor is carrying Loki out, and he says,
"I don't picture that."
He says to them, he goes, "Hey, you know?" It's actually when they're looking at him right here. He
says Thor's wife has a.
He says, yeah. Thor's wife has a tattoo on her thigh, and Thor's like, "How do you know that?" And he's like, "She let me lick it."
Yeah.
The reason that's funny is because there is a Norse tale where Loki turns himself into puts a glamour of himself as Thor, seduces Lady Sif, and then cuts her hair, and it's why did she and the whole thing has always been nobody's ever understood why he cut her hair, and most people think though it's so that Thor would know that it was Loki that was with her, that what Loki had done. That's why I think it's just a little throwaway thing for anybody that knows that story with that little comment, because otherwise the comment's kind of like, wait, what?
Wait, what? Yeah,
it was funny though either way. So then we have kind of, let's see, these pictures are so little I can't see it.
No, well, I've enlarged mine. They look great. All right, so there's
no. I mean, I have like a little film strip on the bottom, so I know what I'm selecting, but it's really tiny, and it's like you can't make it bigger. It's hard to tell what it is. So they're going to take the baby back. Let's see.
Oh, let me ask Jamie, as a person who hasn't read the comics, how did you feel about Joanna and the Corinthian being put together as a team, as a buddy team, two investigators, but also as like this sort of flirty banter?
Yeah, that's what I said. I liked it. I don't know that I believe that they're true love, that he's her true love or whatever, but I thought it was good and I thought it was enjoyable and I liked watching it.
Right.
They had great chemistry.
Just asking. When I see them together, I'm like that.
I really liked it. That was one of my favorite parts, I think, of the episode was the two of them together. So
yeah. And here's a baby. We hate babies and shows, but hey, cute baby, good baby.
Yes, cute baby. And then the other part is about at Ferry where Nuala comes and he's forced her to have her glamour that just puts on makeup and changes her hair that we've discussed. And the bitch Ferry summons him. And at first he's like, "You did me dirty." And then she's like, "I didn't do it."
Yeah. But they did because shit's going home, right?
Yeah. And it wasn't her fault, but still. And then let's see. Then we have him, and this is with the Fates showing up, and that is the end of the episode. Is when they kill poor.
Oh, that was so sad, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they killed ones they didn't have to, but then again, they refused to leave. He did try to.
Well, so from that episode into the next episode, I had like some thoughts about that. I mean, yeah, I know the comic book, but going to the next episode, that behavior, they continue to try to kill people, right, within the realm, within the dreaming. In the dreaming, they're trying to. This was actually like, I want to ask you, Jamie, what you thought about this. The idea that, okay, so Dream has committed, he's killed a blood relative. There's going to be some repercussions, but they're coming now to destroy his realm. Is that what he bargained for? Right? Is that what?
Yeah, and I guess that's why I didn't like the fates, and it kind of pissed me off, because I feel like it was very unfair, and they shouldn't have been not torturing, but shouldn't have been hurting other people that didn't do anything. And I mean, yes, he knew what was going to happen, like the bad things would happen, and he could have prevented it by leaving, but he should know that they're all going to not give up on him, and that it ends up with people getting hurt. But yeah, I thought that he should have been right away like, I'll go with you, just leave, and maybe they wouldn't have killed as many people as they did. So
yeah. And we're going to see it in this next episode. Maybe I should back off, but the idea that like Lyta, Hippolyta, who's interested in saving her son, goes major scorched earth, and she's like just trying to kill everybody who everybody Dream ever met. Like, what's that? Like,
I don't know, because she looks confused there, and she did to me when I was watching too. I thought she's kind of like, why am I doing this? Like,
because she's being used. She's being used, right? Like, did she want to kill everybody that Dream ever met, or just want to like kill Dream to get her baby back, or just kill Dream for not getting? She's killing like innocence, right?
Yeah.
And also, and that's not maybe what she bargained for. And it's not, I don't know. I okay, stop that. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying. Also, AJ. But I just really felt like Lyta's part in this, and maybe I agree with the comic, but also AJ is saying like that, as I've read in the comic also, like, she's different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's I don't love what
much.
They did.
Yeah.
I guess I thought that the show really set up in season 1 that the dreaming is an important part of our total universe, and like when Dream was missing for 100 years, a lot of bad shit happened, and the dreaming needs to continue. And if you're going out of your way to just like kill Dream and all of his friends and whatever, like, are you being sort of reckless? And
yeah, they're supposed to be getting revenge on him, not everybody. So I'm not even.
Right? She kills all these people for no reason. Like,
why they had to do that? Yeah. Or is his name Merv? Isn't that his name?
Merv, yes.
Merv.
Great God, that. And then the poor guy is exploded. He got exploded. And there's the four of them. And then he comes in to tell them, and let's see. Yeah, Dream should have left sooner and went to help him. I didn't like
Didn't
when
matter.
I love that scene. I love that scene, Jamie.
I like that he saved it. I didn't like that they hurt it. I don't like them hurting the animal. They're not really animals, but you know what I mean. I didn't like that. But he fixed it, so it's okay. But yeah, I'm like, that's even meaner. You can kill the people, don't kill the animals, man.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Animals. That's all I am with shows. Yeah. But yeah, he finally talks them into leaving, thankfully. Well, he doesn't talk them into leaving. He turns them into sand and makes them leave at a certain point, so that he can go take care of it.
So look at this scene. I mean, did you feel like Lita was really jumping into this, or do you feel like she was being used? Like, I just felt like Lita wasn't really, like, she never knew. Like, Lita has not been seen since last season. I've read the book. I know where she comes from, but I thought maybe this show did not give us a good jump from that. She suddenly
no. That's what I'm saying. I think if everything they did, they shortchanged us with Lita.
Yeah,
I agree. Let's see. We have whenever she comes back, and she didn't make it back. I think it was kind of sad that she didn't make it back to at least tell him goodbye. I would have liked her to have told him goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, you were really rooting for her, right? To be like,
Yeah, and I don't know if she's
That's chop Lita's head off, though.
if I think she's in love with him, because part of me thought she was in love with him. I mean, I know he doesn't like her, but I kind of felt like that, and I wasn't sure if you were supposed to think that or not. It's
yes, I felt the same way. She definitely has feelings for him.
Yeah, and she didn't even get to tell him goodbye. And I didn't like they killed poor Goldie. I was pissed about Goldie, but I love the thing about she turned it into a balloon and put the string on it. I love that.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't have to kill poor Goldie. So then we have him going up to, I love, again, their effects and their like matte paintings, everything in this show is so beautiful all the time. Like, that's gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you see Death, I mean, they thought it was for Daniel, or not for Dan. Yeah, for Daniel. They thought it was for Daniel because they're like, he's like, I won't let you touch it.
The Dream.
We immediately knew it was for Dream. You know, like
Yes.
as viewers, we knew that meant he was going to die.
And Dream knew it was for him.
Oh yeah, Dream knew. Well, Dream wasn't there when she showed up.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, like, there was a small part of me that was hoping they wouldn't. I kind of figured they would because I had read they did in the book. But you know, I mean, there's always that chance they could change it. You never know. I think the part of Daniel turning the globe or whatever on was really obvious that was going to happen. That was a little cheesy. I mean, it was cute, but like, you knew.
We were told when that child was conceived. Like, we knew.
Yeah, you knew he was going to do something. So yeah, I'm not sure where he put them because he sanded them away, but yet they still look like they're in the castle. So I'm a little confused where they went. But yeah, this is where I said I really had thought maybe he would turn him human. I mean, I know he didn't turn him into a raven in the first place, but
yes, he did.
Oh, did he? I thought no, because we saw him when he was already a raven.
Yeah, but it's off screen. It's not part of this story.
So it was like
he
a
was.
long time.
We see him already as a raven, but where he originally came from to become a raven, like that's the thing. The Sandman comics themselves are, you know, a story, but the Sandman existed in the DC universe prior.
Okay, so why did Green turn him into a raven in the first place then?
Look, it's a very sprawling kind of a story.
Yeah, it's a short version. He was a dying human that he brought into the dreaming and turned him into a raven.
Oh, I thought it was a punishment. I don't know why I thought it was a punishment.
No.
That's why I'm thinking we should have forgiven him.
Because Patton Oswalt has a little bit of a whiny, unhappy. Like, look, I like Patton Oswalt as an actor. I'm not sure he was perfectly cast in this role. And I'm not sure I always feel like that's the right whatever. But yeah, that's why there's the possibility that he could be returned to being a human, Jamie. But we're not there yet. But the idea that you shouldn't bring her back to life I like that part of the show in the next episode.
No, wait,
right?
what?
That you shouldn't. Well, so in the next episode, so after Dream is gone and the new Dream takes over, and should he bring people back to life or should he not? Right? Like, that's a thing. Like,
well, that's the next episode.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, so don't spoil me. I haven't seen it. I was going to watch it this morning, and I thought, no, because I'll just be more confused about what I'm talking about, so I'll wait. So I did. I was good for one.
Okay, so anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, she's too late. I appreciated that she let her leave, though. That was cool. I like that.
So what do you guys
think? You think I'm going to let you leave without a proper sword?
Yeah, although I do see it. I will say I saw it coming, but I liked it. And then we have Death and Dream.
I love that. I
do too. And I think, I mean, it was sad, but it was bittersweet. I mean, it's kind of like at the same time, Dream he's had his time. Like they did it in a way that it was sad, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, it was sad, but it wasn't sad, if that makes sense. Like, it wasn't as sad, I guess, as it could have been. I felt like if that.
I mean, he can't get away from what he did. He killed this. He shed blood, right? He shed family blood.
Yeah.
Killed his son. Why he did it for a really good reason, but that's not, doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, you can't murder somebody and tell the court, but I did it for a good reason. I mean, if you did it to save somebody from suffering, maybe in real life you could, but
Which is why he did it. He did it to save us
Yes,
from suffering,
yes.
but you can't. It's not a reason.
Yeah, but you can't do that. Yeah, so they, I have a picture here, I think, of where they, there it is, of where she takes them. And
Love it. Yep, there they are. And then,
yeah, and then he's gone, and then poor Goldie disappears, which pissed me off, but
yeah.
And then she wakes up, and she's like, now she's.
Well, she woke. You didn't get the screenshot. She woke up because her head got chopped off.
I tried to, but it was like I couldn't pause it on the chopping. I got one of her, like.
I mean, they really set her up as a villain in the last episode, and I get it.
That's why it was so like sad and tragic after, because she's the what's her name? Hetty said to her, like, well, that's not going to happen now. Like, her son isn't a kid anymore, isn't a baby anymore.
You can't get your son back. You can't get your son back, and you maybe kind of killed the wrong guy, right? Like, in the end, yeah, was Dream wrong? But in the end, Dream was right. Like, Dream killed his son because he begged for centuries to be killed.
Yeah. So it was very sad. But then we get, whoops, I'm clicking the wrong thing.
Nula.
I can't believe, like, we didn't, or at least I didn't. You guys knew it, but I was like, how did I not notice that was the same dog? I was like, I should have seen that coming. And I totally didn't see it coming, but I liked it.
Barnabas.
I was worried something was going to happen to the dog, though, because I thought about the fact that her brother said, if you look for him, you'll find him, but made it sound like maybe she shouldn't look for him.
She's just
find him dead or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad he's okay. So yeah, she said Dream's gone, and then we have, of course, the very ending where he suddenly is with the bears.
Oh, and guess who he grows up to be, AJ? You know who?
He grows up to be Jacob Anderson.
Yes.
I wish I'd known this when I talked to him. I would have asked him about it had I known he was in it.
So fantastic. What a perfect person, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. I did not see that coming.
The rest of it.
It was great. I think it's great. Yeah. Perfect casting.
Yeah.
Whatever I ever complain about the show, the casting is great. Usually, most of it.
Yeah.
Because T. Richardson, yeah. So we'll see what happens in the next episode. Woo!
Yep.
I love this.
And for anybody, hopefully, who's listening, we hope you'll come back at 1. Scarlett and I will be going deeper into it. Usually we don't do it the same day. It kind of ended up weird that we're doing it tonight. I didn't think about it. I'm doing the same thing twice, but we'll be.
All right. Well, we got 2 episodes of Star Trek to blast through real quick, and it's already recording.
Just make sure use is gone by 1, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I plan on being gone way before 1.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, everybody, please join me again at 1. I am going to go take a break until then while you guys keep talking, and I will see you guys soon. I'll see you guys on Friday for the Institute interview.
Oh yeah, we'll be here.
Yeah. So just a reminder, everybody, 7 p.m. Eastern, Friday, Institute, Jason Diaz. So yeah.
All right. Cool.
I'm wondering, do you want me to like find a picture of Star Trek, or do you want to just switch back to the other?
Oh, we can just go back to our. What do you think?
Okay.
Click.
Okay. Well, when I disconnect, it'll take off the background. That's why I'm asking. It's gonna.
Oh, it's fine. I think it's fine.
Whatever.
Right. We don't care. Yeah.
We'll put that on.
We'll figure out how to put our 2 cells up here.
I just can't do that. I made it.
Wait. What's that? How do we get our cells up here?
Yeah, I have to remove myself.
Oh wait, there you are. Can we do a little 2-person whatever? I'm not sure what I'm seeing here. Oh, there we are. Hey.
What the hell is going on here,
I've never seen that before.
It's because of whatever that Jamie did.
Wait,
what is she trying? What is she
now
doing?
I only see the what? Hey.
There we go.
Okay, so Star Trek. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and I was telling her how I think this is really one of my favorite Star Trek shows. Right? I love this.
Mine too.
I love this.
Artie likes it the best too. I think out of all the Star Trek stuff we've gotten, I really feel like this is.
I really like
Mo-
the Planet of the Week, Mission of the Week. There's a little bit of like underlying, like there's some story arc that goes for a long time, but I like this show a lot, and I like these 2 episodes that we're covering too. Right? Like there's the
Yeah. So yeah, episode 3, I felt. I mean, there's not really a lot to talk about of episode 3.
there's only like really 2 stories about it. Yeah.
I mean, they find out that Marie's cure isn't a cure, that she's still dying, and there's some rare flower that they
that
can go
Spock
get.
thinks they can like make some sort of whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. The only problem is it's in Klingon space, and they got to sneak into this onto this planet. I mean, the only thing I feel you really get out of the episode is you learn that Mbenga actually assassinated the Klingon, that it wasn't self-defense.
Really, that's all you get out of it. Like, I really kind of liked that this was like their zombie episode. Like they made
That was cool. Yeah,
right?
yeah, no, yeah, yeah. It was, and it's funny. It reminded me of The Last of Us, the way the zombies were.
Yeah, right. So I like that. I mean, I get that. I mean, I agree with you. They're kind of harping on the idea of like all of everybody who's been in the past Klingon war. And so Mbenga was a whatever he was. He was an assassin, was he not? And like it's a super coincidence that the Klingons would show up on this zombie planet, but I liked it. It worked. Like the whole idea of zombies with this little flower, and then also it was okay. I liked it. Because it's playing into the overall story of like, can they save what's her name? Marie. Can they save Marie, right? And also Mbenga, I don't know. What I don't really like is that we had a whole last season Mbenga being like having his whole like trauma from being part of the Klingon War was played out last season, and now here it is right again. I don't mind it. I'm not sure I want it to be a major thing of the season.
Yeah, me either.
But it was a good episode. It was a good episode. Yeah. It was.
And the interesting part is, I like how Chris puts it together. After a while, he's like, "That's why you and Spock were going, because you didn't want me to know what was going on." When he realizes that, basically making Marie, they're basically making Marie like a hybrid of sorts.
I think they're doing right. They're gonna like they're like, oh, we got this major flower. It's gonna cure her. Oh, by the way, it's not. It's gonna like And also, so there was a second thing going on where Ortegas was being very insubordinate, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And she was not really listening to. So she was. So in the opening episode, she was in that Gorn, like, whatever they were trapping the Gorn, right? And I guess we're seeing that she's having some PTSD. Like,
yeah.
Do we think that she has like Gorn in her, or she's just like mentally like trying to deal with shit?
I initially I felt like I feel like there might be some transference from the stab when the Gorn stabbed her.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there might be some. I mean, we don't know a lot about the Gorn.
She's like a little Gorny now. She's got some Gorn.
I feel like there could be like some part of that Gorn's consciousness in her, or she's just having hallucinations.
I mean, I think so, because I mean, I agree with you, because like Eric, she's always been like. I think even they say in this episode, like, she's always some kinds a little bit rude, but she's not insubordinate.
Yeah.
In this episode, she's really, and we saw her episode ago, she was very angry. And I just don't know that it's PTSD. It might be a little bit possession.
Yeah.
Not possession, but a little bit.
let me out. By the way, what did you think of Una's hairstyle in this episode?
Oh,
It was so distracting.
I didn't notice her hair. I noticed she had these like cat eye. She had like cat eye makeup, right? Which
See, that I didn't notice. Too busy looking at the ring around her head.
Oh, she did have her hair was very like up on her hair. I didn't see that. Her hair.
But it wasn't just up. It was like, I mean, it was like she had this whole. It was like she had like a crown.
And
it was very distracting.
She usually has like kind of blonde hair, long blonde hair, right? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's the only show I've ever seen her with dark hair.
I noticed her eyes. She had cat eyes. Then I was like, "Ooh, how did you do that?"
But yeah, that's
actually much. So how did you feel about it? I kind of liked that they had a zombie episode. It was kind of a new
thing. It was fun. Yeah,
right?
No, it was fun.
Appreciated it.
Yeah, haven't had Star Trek zombies before, so I liked it.
And they played in the whole thing where Dr. Mbenga and the Klingon War. So here's the Klingon War has been. They always keep bringing it up. The Klingon War always keeps bringing it up. I get it that, like, this show takes place even before the original series, right? So right. I get that the Klingon War is still very present for them, but this show keeps bringing it up and bringing it up. And I think that Ortegas has PTSD from the Klingon War, right? As does
Mbenga.
Been a part of every episode. So does Mbenga, so does really Nurse Chapel, so does everybody does, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, anyway, I did really like the zombie thing. It was kind of a new idea, kind of cool. The idea of like zombies. I don't always like how they keep bringing it back to the Klingon War, but they did a good job with this. I liked it. Yeah. It's a Klingon person who's like, yeah. So anyway.
All right. The next episode threw me for a loop because they're like talking about the holodeck without calling it the holodeck. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there listening to this description, and I said to Artie, I said, they're talking about the holodeck. And I was like, but how is that possible? I was like, holodecks weren't invented until
exactly right.
So I'm like, how that? But by the end of the episode, I was like, aha. Now,
because the holodeck wasn't invented yet. This was an episode where it was the first time in the holodeck ever.
Yeah,
right?
It was a test run. Now, how did you feel about the fact that it was very closely resembled the holodeck episode where Data tells the holodeck to stump him and Moriarty becomes sentient?
Yeah, I didn't love it. I mean, I think that the idea of like the first ever holodeck kind of thing could be kind of cool, but they really didn't do a good job. They defaulted to Next Generation. I felt
that's what I'm saying. They told a story that they've already told. I mean, it was a little different.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. And I was like, I've seen this before. Yes, I'm seeing my actors in different costumes, but it was the same thing we've seen 9 times. It wasn't really that. I mean, but maybe, AJ, they're trying to sell it to a new audience who's never seen that. Sure. I don't know. I thought it wasn't that. We've seen it. We get it. We don't.
Yeah. So my other question is, what do you think of this new happier La'an?
And La'an and Spock, right?
Well, that is another story. But I'm having a hard time getting used to La'an, like smiling and having fun. Like I'm used to this brooding, very serious, very stern security officer
who's been through a lot. She's had a terrible.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, and I sound terrible saying this because she's finally dealt with all her Gorn shit,
right? Yeah,
and she's moving past it and living a better life now. But at the same time, I'm just like, I feel like she's too free spirited now.
And
the whole Spock thing
with Spock, who is like Spock is like not a.
Spock is the man,
and he is, but Spock is like the most eligible bachelor on the ship. Like the whole like thing they did with him with chapel. I mean, we knew it could never go anywhere. If you've ever watched Star Trek, it couldn't go anywhere. But he's like a doomed romantic hero. Like, what is that about?
I felt that was really quick. I mean, we just, you know what I mean? Like,
that down right away. Yes.
you know, it's funny though. I kind of felt it a little bit in the Q episode when she was teaching Spock how to dance in the first place.
Yeah.
I definitely felt a little something there. I mean, and they do have good chemistry together.
They do. I like them together.
She's such a good dancer that she probably can make anybody look good.
Well, she's a trained dancer. She's trained.
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like I feel like it's a little soon. And it just it's I guess it's an interesting thing to see because the Spock we know from the original series, I guess maybe he grows a little harder by that period because he's being a little too jovial about certain things.
The part where we're seeing Spock as a young guy. Here he is he's with Chapel now is what's happening with Leon, and we know that we will see him later in the later series.
Right.
Really not having any kind of. I mean,
fun.
he's not a guy that like. Why is he like he? I mean, we love this Spock, but there's a long time that's going to happen before we see any Spock.
Well, no. Let's see. This is season 3. We're not that far off. I mean, think about it. Kirk
from when
we meet him.
They will become the Kirk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
we're not too far. We're probably about. In Star Trek time, we're about 4 years off, I think.
I know Spock is half human, but they're really
pushing the human side lately.
He's really a human and a romantic partner for a number of them, right? Look, I like him with La'an. I kind of like him with La'an. I like that La'an also is a person that is pretty closed off. She's had a very horrible life. Not that Spock is, but she's pretty closed off and pretty quiet. And she also, I mean, let's not forget the part where she had this doomed romance with James Kirk, right?
That's right. I forgot about that.
Right, which is kind of crazy to see. And so the whole idea that she and Kirk would be, it's probably close. I like them together. I like it, but I know it's not going anywhere. That's part of the show, right?
Oh, and actually, you know what I caught in the episode? It was a blink and you miss it moment, but there was a really quick flirtation between Scotty and Uhura.
Really?
Yeah, it was. He said something, and she said something kind of snarky back, but but with a smirk on her face. It was just a cute little, real quick because again, we know where they end up in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think the show does a good job of that. We know where they're going. Let's try to go a separate way. I do enjoy a big part of this has always been about. We didn't talk about it, but about what Marie with the Gorn and all this stuff, and what's going to happen between the two of them. I mean, we've never really seen the idea of a starship captain who has a woman that he's in love with and who's his real partner, right? And she's also a starship captain. I love that part. And in this episode, I mean, in the first episode where this whole part where they go down to try to get a flower that might save her, it turns out that she's been lying. Right? She's like, I'm gonna try the most extreme medical intervention, and that her boyfriend is like, wait, you didn't tell me, and I love the whole part where they're both starship captains, and she doesn't have to tell him. And he kind of the idea that he wants to know and she hides stuff from him is pretty, Star Trek doesn't, I love that depth of character that we don't always see.
Yeah, this show definitely focuses more on the people than the missions, which is good. You know,
But the
we're a
mission-
long way removed from 1963,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
1963.
the mission of the week is always fun, also, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is the mission of the week. Yeah. So,
All right.
all right. So, anyway, all right. Good night.
That's our show, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Good to see
Jamie
you.
will be back in about half an hour to do her deep dive.
Yeah, whatever. All right. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Sandman, I think. All right. Have a good night, everybody, and see you Monday.
Bye.
Night.